We are all set. Thank you. Thank you, Kristen. Good afternoon, everybody. It is Wednesday, 24 September 2025, and this is a special meeting. No, this is a regular meeting of the Waterville Valley Select Board. We've had so many specials,
Yes.
but this one's actually regular. I'm Rich Reeder, the chair. With me here today is Wendy Rathgeber, the vice chair, and Dan Bancroft, select board member. So we have a quorum. Let's just move along since we have a pretty long agenda here. 2 pages. Wow. Privilege of the floor. Anybody here for something that's not on the agenda? Cindy, since you're the only one here? Okay, thank you. Let's go ahead and move on to the minutes review and approval. So we got with our packet, I think, 3 sets or 4 sets of minutes.
5.
5 sets. Did we get 5?
But 820 we'd already accepted, or already, 1, 2, 3, actually 6, sorry.
The
The
last
20th
three,
we'd
Rich,
already approved.
the last three,
Yeah,
the block where we go into special or into non-public session and such for the
Yeah.
reasoning and such
yeah,
is incorrect.
okay,
And Steve is passing the correct information to Jen to correct those.
okay,
So rather than have me just try and retype everything in there,
fine.
which makes, so those three,
I don't.
she is correcting those. 2 of those are for special meeting
Right,
that we had, so they're a very, truncated agenda.
right.
Yeah, like the 19th, I think we would already corrected, and the 20, or approved rather, that was the special
Tuesday,
meeting.
August 19th.
That was a special meeting for the land.
I
Yeah,
remember
and-
that one.
And then the 20th was included without line items in there, but that one had already been approved, at least according to the minutes from 9/3.
Okay,
So,
that was the August 20th one.
right.
Okay, I think I had just 2 on my. Well, let's just run through them. 723. Does anyone have
Yeah.
anything they want to add on
Um,
723?
A couple things.
Yeah.
There, gosh, lines 48 through 80, everyone's kind of identified as resident who gets up to speak. And that's not accurate.
can you say that again? please?
Yes, on 723, lines 48 through 80, everyone who gets up to speak is identified as resident, and they are not all residents who get up to speak. So I don't know if it's easier just to strike that qualifier, or if we need to
Yeah.
acknowledge who.
I think the reason we sent these back to be redrafted was that there was no identification, just names.
Okay,
And so
so
some of
then,
them are not residents.
well, for the one
Right.
that, yeah, I know for sure is Jim
Is not a
DeRocher.
resident.
He's the Black Bear Lodge general manager.
Right.
If you're okay, we can strike the word resident.
Does that matter? How do you?
It doesn't matter, but I would keep wherever it said select board member to distinguish it's us talking.
Sure.
Rich said the continuation of this public hearing will occur at 6 p.m. I think you just say the chair said, select board chair Rich said, something like that, just so that everybody knows.
Yep.
Yeah.
The others, unless we wanted to identify them for a reason, like a position, just the name is fine. That was on the 23rd, right?
Yes,
So yeah, I think it's okay to strike resident
that would be easiest.
and just put select board on line 74, select board chair. Rich Rita said. I should do it. Does that work?
Yeah. that
Okay.
does it.
So you had something else?
Yeah, line 87, 88 was just confusing. 87, we reviewed the minutes for the meeting on 7/2, and then a motion to approve the minutes for 7/9. I assume the 7/9 is meant to be 7/2, but maybe the 7/2 is meant to be 7/9. I don't know.
Okay, I can look at that.
Okay.
Okay.
So if that's just a fit, that's just a
That's
fix.
just
If
yeah.
if it's fine,
Just
we'll
for
go ahead and approve
accuracy.
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
But if it is different, then we need to go back and figure out.
yeah.
If there were two sets.
2 sets, yeah.
And then just grammatically on lines 162 and 165. It's describing letters received, and it says letters received by instead of letters received from.
Right,
So that was all
yeah,
I had for that.
okay. So anything else? I don't have anything on 723, anything to add? All right, how about 8-6?
Couple of minor things.
Mm-hmm,
On line 68. Instead of topic of, I thought question about. Because the municipal solid waste committee minutes were always published, so it wasn't a
Right.
topic, it was a
No,
question about.
but did say that regarding the question of,
Right, exactly,
or the query,
yes,
the
That
question
makes sense.
of municipal solid waste committee minutes not being published. I mean, I
Right.
think you got the,
that they actually, because they had always been published, so I'd hate to infer that they had not been published.
yeah,
If that makes sense.
it does. That could be changed a couple different ways.
Yes,
Okay, what line is that?
Put question,
line 68,
just put question instead of
68.
topic.
yep,
On the yeah, but did say that on the question. It's all one long adjectival phrase.
Yeah.
Not published municipal solid waste committee minutes, but it
Yes.
works.
and then my only other little thing I had was line 123 and 124 on the topic of parking on Snows Mountain Road. That was specifically regarding the
Yes.
WVAIA request.
Request.
It's not
Yeah,
parking
I
on Snows
had
Mountain
that
in
as well.
general.
Right.
How do you want it to say?
Um,
To reject the request from
WVAIA.
WVAIA to park on Snow Mountain Road.
Yep, I got you.
To park on Snows Mountain Road during croquet matches.
Yes,
It could be simply to not allow parking on Snows Mountain Road for croquet matches. You can just put the 4 croquet matches in. I think
yeah,
that's a simple way of doing it.
yep.
Okay. Anything else on
Not for me.
8-6? I did not have anything to add. 8-6. All right, let's move along to 8-19. I think was that the one we had actually,
I think it was
That's the
already,
dedication.
we did that one already.
yeah, I believe so.
So we'll just, we can just strike it, or we can just approve it again, just to make sure.
Extra special approval.
We'll
for
just,
that one.
yeah. August 20th I had, now that's when we already did approve.
According to the minutes on 9-3, we did approve it, but
Okay.
I don't remember honestly.
I
sequentially.
didn't either, right?
So my recollection is you had changes,
Yes,
and then I had gone through and made those changes and passed it back to Jen. Along with your set of changes. And I believe that she put those changes in along with the ones that I had already done to help her out. Making those.
okay, because the two thing,
There was quite a few.
yeah, there are some, but there were a couple that were missed. If that's indeed the case, whether we.
That could be.
Yeah, it's hard because there are no
Yeah.
line
lines.
numbers on it, but if you go to paragraph 9A,
Okay.
You were 9-3.
Get there just a minute. 9A ex
8,
officio
820.
reports.
820 ex officio reports. 9, paragraph 9, subparagraph A, the second sentence. Municipal is misspelled.
Eagle eye.
And I do remember having one comment that I didn't like department operations report, which is one run-on paragraph.
Hmm,
That it should be divided by
Sure.
department. We do that a couple times, and that may
Yeah,
be
that would be
OBE
easier.
because we may, we need to discuss now that, we're relooking at how we're doing things. If we're gonna have the department heads come to our meetings now, then it would be automatically.
Right,
But as a report, see, this was under town manager update,
right.
that paragraph, just one long paragraph.
It is hard to
going,
read,
go-
yeah.
With all the different, no transitions. So I'm fine with it as written, but I think it should be, it could be broken out,
I,
but we can
in
leave it as
general,
is.
prefer to have things broken out and bulleted, if you will, so
Yeah.
that they're, make it
Yeah.
more readable.
It could just be.
That wasn't
yeah.
the style that Mark had wanted for these things, so
Alright.
I was trying.
Well, I think we're gonna relook
Yeah.
at the whole idea of department operations report from a town manager.
Yeah,
But
as
just
we
a
move
comment.
forward,
Yeah.
yeah.
Other than that,
So just fix that spelling of the municipal. and
Yeah.
It was approved on 9/3 already.
all right,
That's
Yeah.
in the minutes.
okay,
But I
so,
only got those minutes from her at the
okay,
beginning of the week.
all right. So that one was definitely done.
Okay, so now-
9-9, I think is the next, oh,
9-3.
I'm sorry, 9-3. I had a couple, line 89. Let me get to it. It should be the electrician, not capitalized.
Hmm,
We don't have, the way it's written, it makes it sound like the town has a electrician. So. Line 97, change GOT to was. And with regard to Jen's question on line 100, it's the villas.
right.
I think that's the villas she had a question to what we were referring to on line 100.
Oh, line 100.
You can just put it the villas.
Yeah,
That's the name of that condo association. I think it's the Villas of Waterville Valley, but I think just the villas will do the
Suffice,
trick.
Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
thought she-
Did you have anything, Wendy? Yeah.
Minor, just on line 85, I thought, instead of a letter saying, it should be a letter stating.
Yeah.
Since letters
Very
don't
good.
speak,
Yeah,
usually.
Yep.
And,
Yeah, 85.
and I was on lines 80 and 81.
okay.
I thought it might be more appropriate to describe it as there will be handrails and lighting installed for the Golden Eagle Lodge walkway.
Because it's not necessarily Golden Eagle,
Lodge doing all of
right,
it,
who's
yeah,
going to have that happen, right?
Exactly.
Okay,
Could we
so-
say, it could be something like, she added that, this is you, Megan.
Yeah.
She added that she is working with Golden Eagle to have handrails and lighting
That would be perfect.
installed on the walkway before winter.
Yep.
So I think, yeah, I think we're gonna discuss that
Yes.
today anyway. That was 9-3.
Mhm.
Anything else on 9-3?
Not from me.
Anything on 9-9?
Oh, just 1 second.
Not sure if 9-9 made it into the.
I didn't
It's-
see 9-9.
No.
Just put a copy in front of you. It's very brief. If
Very
you
small.
could review it.
All right, let's take a minute.
Yeah, so this is, the bottom of this one, it needs the block changed.
Yeah.
Okay.
This person.
Yeah, I think
'Cause
that
it's
could-
personnel,
right.
not legal.
I think we could,
I can go through.
We
and
can
look at
approve it
all
with
of them.
those changes.
Yeah.
Just look at what, because she doesn't have access to the non-public, so I
Sure.
can just look at the one. that
and
he has,
if
and
it needs a
just
change, just
I
right.
Cut and paste.
Okay,
Yeah,
Based on
the-
What he's filled out for the non-public.
I've
Great.
actually highlighted those in the folders.
Mhm.
There's the last 3 of them all have the same thing.
Okay.
Everything is all legal matters or,
Okay, I'll look. mine.
Yeah.
and
that's fine. I don't think we can go ahead and approve those. To me, that's Well, it's an
Well, just-
important formality,
just
to get the right, to
substitute
get
those
the
out.
right site in there, but yeah, it's. Okay, and 9, that leaves 9/11.
Yeah,
Do we
I
have-
just thought on line 21,
Mhm.
we should specify the Dakota family with line 21.
Oh,
They're
with
working closely with
the- yeah.
the
Or is it
Dakota.
they are
family.
working closely with the town,
Yeah,
and it should be interment, not internment,
yes,
with an N.
Yes.
Internment is, putting people in a place and keeping them there.
we'll try not to do that here.
Rich Reed announced, I'm sorry, Rich said that the town is working closely with the family,
With
That sound
the
fair,
Dakota-
Chief?
With the Dakota.
with the
family.
Dakota family regarding a ceremony and interment, lose the N.
Yeah.
It's the same, on line 26, it should be interment without the N.
Yes.
We're not confining. We are burying, fortunately.
21, 26.
I had line 25, I would remove the of, just Rich read a proclamation lowering flags to half staff.
Mm,
I didn't have anything else.
I didn't.
So we have, let's see, we just did 9. So just to recap, which ones are we moving forward and getting them off our to-do
I
list?
think we're moving all of them forward.
All
right?
of them.
Ex-
I think that's what we just said.
Okay,
We'll just be clarifying the reasons for non-public, but non-public
Right.
did exist in.
Right.
right. But 8:20 was already done, but we'll just
Yes.
repeat it.
We'll fix that one thing.
Yeah, it's just a minor spelling change.
Yeah, I have
Okay,
I wrote these down too, so.
Do you want me to make the motion?
sure.
So I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes as amended for July 23, 25, August 6, August 19, August 20, September 3rd, September 9, and September 11 of 2025.
With the
I said as amended.
recommended,
As
as
amended.
amended.
That's all
I
you
said
need.
as amended way at the beginning of the list, but yes, we can say as amended at the end of the list as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah,
Okay.
good,
Yeah.
good, John.
New business. So schedule ordinance and regulation review discussion. So the point here is, I think I've said several times, is that we made a decision sometime this spring to do it for the end of the year. So I think what we're looking for, the board is looking for, is just, do we want to have a day where the department heads can just roll in and give us whatever changes they want? I think, Chief, most of these are gonna be yours.
We started, we're just not done
Okay,
yet at this point.
we don't have to have everyone on the same day. We can do others. I mean, what's easier for you guys?
Do you think roughly?
Probably get it done by next week, certainly by next meeting.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't
Yeah,
think
that's-
we're talking end of the year.
Yeah,
The only timeline, I think, date we have to be worried about is if we need to change something that requires a warrant, we'll have to get that done.
yeah,
They'll have to have a public hearing and all that, but so sometime in October is,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's our
and
next meeting.
We can certainly shoot for October. We're diving a little bit deeper.
good.
uh,
I'd rather,
Work and I and some of the other staff.
Good.
For the special
that's,
events.
yeah, I'd rather just,
um,
yeah.
Which would require the
right,
changing of the road use event
right,
ordinance.
okay,
So in rewording that to cover just
Right.
special events. So,
Right. okay, great.
So I want to prepare it so we have some language for you. We have a workable
Right.
permit draft.
Second October meeting, would that be good enough?
Yeah, 2nd October, whenever,
Which is,
uh,
what's our
the
second meeting?
24th, I believe.
24th?
It's the 24th or the
no.
22nd. The 22nd.
are we doing first and third?
No, we changed it
Oh, that's right,
because,
that's right,
yeah,
yes, you're
so,
right, sorry.
yeah,
So
so
8th
it's
and
the 8th and the
22nd, yes.
22nd. Thank you, Kristen.
Okay,
We can do it the first meeting in November.
Or do we need a special meeting? Like how involved are your suggestions? Do you think we need more time?
Without really looking at the other ones, I don't know if we need to get real, real deep. I don't think many of the problematic ones have been addressed within the last few years.
Right, we've been trying
So I
to
don't think
cycle
it's
through
gonna
them.
be a real,
Okay.
I think I can get stuff for you by the 8th.
Okay,
Okay, that's
And-
fine.
You know,
That's right. We could always move a meeting earlier, say at 2 and start with,
yeah, we could
Sure.
do earlier.
Just to get it out of the way.
We'll need a special meeting that I think if we
Okay.
wanted to dedicate, an hour,
okay,
we might be able to, or hopefully half hour.
okay, well, why don't we go ahead and plan on starting our meeting at 2 o'clock on the 8th? And we can start with this review of ordinances and regulations,
Sure.
see where we're at.
Okay.
And if we have, we can roll in the other departments. If they have any, I think, I know Megan, you've been working on these the last year. We probably have a lot of that work already done. But I think Dylan, you were gonna look at. It's really more of a regulation. Well, it's listed as an ordinance, but it's not really a select board ordinance.
Right.
The water
Sewer use
restriction.
ordinance, yeah.
What was the other one?
Sewer use.
Sewer use?
Yeah, as well
Okay.
as Water ban.
Okay. Okay. So we'll probably need to go have this over a couple meetings, so we can do DPS on the 8th and maybe work in, was the 22nd of October work for you?
Yeah, I have to get somehow, I haven't reached out to Steve to try to do this. I have to get it off of Mark's computer. He had the last draft that him and I worked on.
Okay.
Sewer use ordinance, and it's over 100 pages long.
I imagine,
It's all in language compared to what's in our existing one, so that's gonna be.
all because of changes in state law, I take it primarily,
Exactly.
yeah, okay. That's fine, yeah, so let's tentatively plan on the 22nd. And maybe also starting, well, let's see how many, let's look at maybe starting that meeting early as well by an hour at 2 o'clock if needed. Let's see, take a look what you come up with, and then Steve and you and I can talk about it in the pre-meeting agenda setting, and whether we think we need to go early or whether we can just capture it in the course of a regular meeting starting at 3. Yeah. So I mean, that, I don't think on administration, you guys, I think, on any,
I'll take a look.
take a look, that leaves DPW and rec. Are there any of those, any of the regulations? I know you're working, Brooke, with Chief Noise
Yeah, special event.
on the special event. Are there any others that come under your purview as department? Okay. Yeah, and Megan, have we any left, to do?
Ditto line.
Yeah, I know we was cycling through those over the last year. All right, well, we can recap after October and see, make sure we've done that
Yep.
review completely or comprehensively done that review.
Good.
Okay, that sound like a plan forward to everybody?
Yeah.
Good plan.
All right. Next item is a joint select board, school board agenda review. We are meeting tomorrow at 3 p.m. in the multi-purpose room. The meeting's hosted by the school board. I think, Tim, you have the agenda. Have you guys seen the agenda? We passed it out.
Didn't come from you.
We did the agenda, and I don't know, I presume it was sent to the school board as well as the select board,
Like, received.
because Mike responded and added an item to it.
Talk about the meeting technology piece.
Right, that was it.
Oh, yeah, that was,
So, right,
that's quite a while back we got that.
if you don't, if you don't have it, we can print you out a copy before you
That's okay.
leave, if you leave today. There are not many, half dozen. Most of them are just the usual sorts of
usual,
things,
yeah.
just updates, nothing. I think the meeting technology will be a new discussion.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with the agenda.
Are we liking?
I think that's the YouTube
Gotcha.
view.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, a minute after Steve sat down on the screen, he went across, I just saw movement on the screen and.
Oh, it's just got a delay in
So,
the,
there's just a delay. It's,
Okay.
it's nothing.
okay, yep, not a problem.
Just was distracting.
So, Dan and Wendy, are you good with the, agenda as?
Yes, this will be
Yes.
my first one of these meetings.
Okay, yeah,
It looks
I'm
good.
not sure whether to,
no, we
what
just,
I should be expecting yet.
see you tomorrow.
So, yeah.
It's a not particularly, we're only scheduling an hour. But
Yep.
we'll see how it goes. There's, don't know if there's anything other than a routine, except there's a one new one. We may have a little discussion on that. Okay, let's move on to town manager recruiting process update. Well, the first order of business to say that it's no longer under new business. I think we can now put it under old business
Mhm.
for future, and we should have this obviously on our agenda. Just to get those updates from now on under old business. So I think we've all seen the latest draft of the job vacancy notice. I think we're all good with it, and I think thank you, Dan, for pulling it all together with Steve. And thank you, Steve, for pulling it all together with Dan.
Thanks for your input.
Yeah, I think we're good to go. Shall we
Yes.
just ready to hit the send button? So you're gonna be going to what, NHMA and Indeed?
Yeah, that was my initial thoughts. Hit those two sites with a link to the posting on our website as well, our town's website.
Sure.
Another
Some kind of
option-
banner at the front end of the website, says, job vacancy announcement or something
That's
like
what I was
that.
thinking.
Yeah,
MMA is another. I know a lot of New Hampshire jobs get posted to the Massachusetts Municipal Association's website. That's another option. I'd like to get your feedback
sure.
on that, but
I think wide distribution is fine.
I think it's better, if you will.
No problem.
See who we turn out.
Consider Maine, since the last one we had was from Maine.
This is true.
Yeah.
that's true.
Maine
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
Maine or Vermont as well.
Yeah,
yeah.
let's cast a wide net, so to speak.
We'll skip Iowa.
So I think also on the issue of the vacancy, if you can get a copy to the newly formed committee, which we'll now talk about,
Sure.
to all the members of that committee and have them chew on it. Anything else on the actual job notice? We good with it then?
Oh, no, I'm
We're
very
fine,
good with
great.
it.
Yeah.
Steve and I put a lot of effort into
It
that.
showed. No, it definitely showed. Well done, I thought.
Yes.
So the other aspect, the other part of this update would be the process of how we're gonna go about selecting a new town manager. And the board decided, I think, at its last meeting to form a search committee, if you would,
Mhm.
comprising 4 former select board members, all of whom I contacted and all of whom agreed to participate. So it's Joan Sweeney, Mike Aronson, Margaret Turner, and Bob Freeze. And we also wanted to rope one or two senior staff officers as well. So we asked you, Steve, to take a look at that, and what can you tell us?
Well, I can tell you that 2 of those folks who I was planning on reaching out are in this room right now. I haven't connected with either of them. If you'd like, I can.
All right.
Give you.
Well, there are 3, I think, that we were really looking at because of longevity, haven't been here for a number of years. That's Chief Noyes, Brooke, and Dylan. There's no key number here, I suppose. The smaller group, the better, but there should be at least one senior staff person involved. Now, you will be involved, I think, more as the keeping everything moving along as the admin help, but I think your input on how Mark was doing things and what you saw, what worked and what didn't work, as for all intents and purposes, the assistant manager, town manager, will be very helpful. So we definitely, at least I definitely want to see you participate in this. But beyond you, of the 3 people here mentioned, any of you interested? You want to think about it?
I would be happy to be on that.
Okay. That would be great. Dylan,
Likewise, yeah.
all right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we can handle the staff, perhaps based on maybe some, direction, like if there's something involved with, like Dylan, you would cycle in if there's something you wanted to talk about, the whole wastewater treatment facility and the project manager, the plans and all of that. Whereas, Brooke, you can cycle in when we're talking about, when the group is talking about rec, and same on stuff under your remit, chief.
Mhm.
You're all three, I think, are fine.
And in addition, I'm thankful you can do it, Brooke, because also
Yeah.
in addition to just the rec side of it is also you have a great rapport with so many townspeople and property owners that is a great perspective as well.
Yeah, things that you can bring to it, so. Why don't, I think I sent out an email to everybody basically saying we, the select board, should meet with this committee just to make sure we're all on the same page as to what we're looking for the committee to do.
Yeah.
And then, the committee also should probably not only hear from us, but get basic information of the sorts of things we see coming down in the next 4 or 5 years that they should be aware of
Mhm.
as they read resumes and eventually interview folks.
Would you like me to get their availability when I send the job advert?
Yes, yes. I think I proposed our next meeting, we can roll it into our next regular meeting on the 8th, because that will be 2 weeks before the job vacancy notice closes on the 22nd. So that once we've met with them, they'll have a couple weeks to do whatever they need to do to organize themselves. And decide how they want to approach it based on whatever general guidelines that we agreed upon with them on the 8th of October. So they can hit the ground running
Yep.
on the 22nd and start rolling through the resumes. But whether you guys want to read them all or divide them up or however you want to do it, I mean, I don't want to get into the business of telling you guys how to organize yourself.
Or rank them, or.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we're looking for as an output is candidates whom this committee thinks that should be considered by the select board. And if there's
Right.
more than one, I would appreciate a ranking in that regard. And there's ways we've ranked them in the past. We've converted it into numbers. I think we've got a whole process when we've done these sorts of things with vendors for big projects. So.
Yeah.
But if they want to put together that type of matrix too, I mean, I leave it completely in their purview.
Yes,
Does that work?
that's
Does that
good.
work? All right, yeah, so if you can see if they're available to meet on October 8th with the select board.
Sure.
Just to go over some stuff. Make sure everything's good. Any other things we can think of with the process? So the ads going out. We've got a committee.
We still have to resolve the job description.
Yes, thank you for
Right.
reminding me. I did, yeah. I like your changes. I don't know if, so we have the original from December of 2005.
Right.
And then you went through it and changed it. I was fine with it. The one obvious difference is the tax collector. And we're in a bit of a quandary there, how to approach that, because that could change. You have some update on?
Yeah, did you get through to council on that?
I did.
Okay,
So the short and skinny of it is I would default as the assistant town manager, where I'm acting as the interim town manager in the town manager's absence as the tax collector is not.
Okay,
So it would be just a natural default to my role.
even though you've not had any,
even though we
Training
have
in
a-
the
and
matter.
we have a deputy tax
Thankfully, we
collector.
have a deputy who has been trained up over the past 6 months in the tax collector role to carry on the responsibility of collecting taxes. It's just from a formality standpoint, you would see my name listed as the town's tax collector on the tax bills when they go up.
So Steve, simple question, with respect to getting trained up on the tax collection duties. Is there any sort of schedule?
Yes,
Do you know when you can do that? Or-
it's a 3-year certification process. So, and they only give training once a year as a tax collector. So
Okay.
you can go to like 1-day trainings, or you can do some stuff online, but the certification process is a 3-year process every August.
Okay,
The other thing is that the town council said was, and I sent it to, the New Hampshire Municipal and also DRA. They agreed with what our town council said, because some of the RSAs basically state that, if he's appointed as the assistant town manager, or is he just, taking the role? Because he's not elected, so he would be appointed by you, which would
Yes.
need to have to be sworn in. And then those tax collector duties, which were put on Mark in 1998, they would be applied to him. Because that's when it happened, when that town
Mhm.
meeting happened.
Right, town meeting made the decision, right.
Then it would carry forth like that. So we're just trying to cover whether or not me as a deputy can still take in taxes after a 30-day period based on the RSAs, and if he is the tax collector until the next election. And then the town, the select board can decide whether or not at the election, they want to keep the tax collector duties on the town manager, or.
So we have to wait.
separated them, because back then it was 200 people, now it's way over 750, so it becomes a harder position to fill as a manager that has a tax collector
Yeah,
hooked to it, those
Yeah.
duties, because there are a lot of duties that come with that.
right.
so.
So basically you're kind of doing the work, Kristen, but Steve's getting the credit. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, he gets the time.
Or the blame.
Or the blame, yeah.
He
So,
has a special phone thing, I just throw things.
so we have appointed Steve as the assistant
Interim.
town manager.
The interim
The
town
interim
manager.
town manager.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interim, but we've also changed.
We've changed his title to
Right.
assistant manager.
Right.
So. Which is effectively the same thing what I'm trying to say. Does that mean that he now needs to be sworn in?
Well, he should have,
But he's already,
So we'll
Yeah.
do the
if you're
swearing. in.
appointing him as the successor to Mark, then he needs to have an appointment letter, because the audit that we're doing will change those votes from Mark's act collecting votes over to Steve's. They have to be clean, so they have to be like, the totals have to match, and then he gets a clean set of votes, so as they say.
Okay.
Yeah.
the reason I'm asking this is to understand what actions are on us as a board.
Well, that's what I was asking today. I sent the email of what our council said, you'd asked me to, and just ask if we're doing it the right way by law. And we're fine with it, we just wanna make sure it's all above board.
Yeah, no, of course.
So the
Absolutely.
board would then appoint you if
Yep.
town council agrees
Yep.
to it.
Yep.
Right. And then we
So
move.
The audit is still taking place. The
Right.
auditor today is hoping to have it wrapped up within a week or so.
Okay,
Um,
so we could have it at least resolved, in the sense of we have a way to handle tax collection, have a tax collector, but is that going to be something we're going to put on, we're going to keep at the town manager level? And that has to be, if we change it, that has to wait until March of next year at town meeting.
Unless you have a special town board, town meeting.
You can't have it.
You can have a special.
So we
meeting.
can,
Yes, you can, if you just want to do just the tax collector portion. As the main thing that you would basically put in an amendment
Right,
and have a special town meeting just for that, you can do that.
and council said that, because we've
That's
been
what I
reading the
did.
RSAs.
At
RSAs.
that
my
conference
reading.
last week, I talked to Bernie, who is the head legal counsel for NHMA.
Yeah,
And he said, because that's the way it started, you can, as a select board, remove those duties. As long as it's brought to the town, because it was brought to the town in the.
because they made the
original-
decision.
Yeah, in the original.
That makes a lot
But I-
more sense.
but I thought we couldn't have a special town meeting for that, but he says that we can.
That's what I had read, was
Yes.
it said you couldn't.
You can have a special town meeting for almost anything.
Mhm.
Well,
This
within
was
law,
one of
within
the
law.
exceptions, there were two.
it was written.
The
in
other one
RSA
was
that you
town
can't.
clerk.
We'll verify with Bernie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I sat right next to him, asked him and showed, I
Yeah.
went over the
Okay.
RSAs that I brought up that I found and asked him, were these the reasonable
Were
ones that
they-
we were using?
Would they, were they excluded? Or does it require getting a, permission slip, from
oh, maybe,
the, the proper judicial authority on this? Because that you do need if you go into a special town meeting, if there's any money involved.
right.
So was it excluded completely special, or was it, you need to first take this other step?
The language that I remember was that it was excluded completely, but
Okay.
I would be happy to
That's how I
follow
read
the
it too.
council's
Wendy.
other, yeah,
All right.
other,
I can, yeah.
Yeah, let's
We'll
just
get back
recheck
to you
that.
because I printed out RSAs up that state those particular things, like if
Yeah.
you want a copy of them, I can forward you guys a copy so you can look at them and then wait for the response from.
Sure.
DRA.
Sure,
Thank
that's
you.
fine.
great,
So getting back to full circle here
Yeah.
to our job announcement, we don't have it on the job announcement.
so it sounds like we can keep it off, if it's,
Mhm.
if it's an easier process to remove it, we don't have to wait until March, then we could keep it off.
Right.
I would maybe just suggest if we don't have that piece nailed down by the time we're conducting the interviews,
Hmm.
we float the potential of.
Of course,
Of,
yeah,
right, this is hanging out here and we're trying to resolve it. Well, that gets to the question as, I think Kristen brought up, do we want to keep it does the select board want to recommend to town meeting that we keep it with the town manager, or do we move it to somebody else? Maybe the assistant town manager, potentially. And there is a difference between assistant town manager and interim manager.
Yes,
Steve just happens to be both at the moment.
yeah,
The-
well,
There was some good dialogue between us, the town and DRA and our auditors. They're very thankful of how proactive we've been through with this process. They've told me there've been multiple occurrences where they find out a tax collector's been removed for a long period of time, like a year or two.
oh, no.
And so
And then it bubbles up for some
they've
reason.
been very supportive too for us, getting back to us with the questions that we've got.
Right.
So it's a very amicable relationship.
Good.
but
good.
in terms of the job listing, we're just leaving it off.
I think we leave it off and then
Or
we
the job
explain,
description
right,
linked,
if,
yeah.
and that's probably one thing that we would have to bring up because we don't mention it in the job listing that,
Or the job description.
or the job description.
Right,
Right, which I think we can change. We haven't decided whether or not we
right.
want to accept the change. Do we want to look at it anymore? Are you happy with the changes that,
I mean, I got a little bit bogged down looking through it and I
Mhm.
apologize, I actually left it where I was bogged down with it. But I think overall it seems fine. I mean, I can see you were putting the accent more on
Mhm.
the town manager having more technological savvy, which is appropriate, I think, for
Mhm.
2025.
Yeah, I was generally fine with it. I think it
Yeah, I was
described
too.
it, so.
If you guys need another day, I
No.
probably won't post until tomorrow, but.
No, I was good with it.
That was
I
good.
think it's.
So this
I-
position description, we can just decide here now.
Yep.
I think we're good with it, so let's go ahead and revise it
Yeah.
Yep.
and use that if anyone who applies.
And if circumstances dictate that we need to modify this later, we can do that.
Yep.
Yep.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, this is the one that'll be, if you're gonna link anything, this would be the one, the revised version to link it to. Anyone calls, we will have to. mention.
Just one thing, can you put a date on it? Make sure we have a date on it,
Yes.
because as history passes, sometimes it's hard to keep
Just use-
track of
yeah.
versioning and such.
Just use today's date.
So thank you so much.
All right. Anything else on the town manager recruiting process update? Anybody? If not, we have to review and sign MS 434.
No signature needed. I'm sorry, I get confused with all these
Mhm.
forms. The 535 is the form that you'll need to sign in hopefully a week or two. That will set our tax rate.
Right.
So this 434 is just strictly for your review. I'll tell you that revenues did not change dramatically across any of these GLs. The one that I was waiting for was GL 3501. Sale of municipal property. At the beginning of the year, we budgeted $60,000 for the trade-in value of our ambulance. And that's looking like still it's gonna hold strong. We're hoping to take receipt of the new ambulance, Dave, in mid-November,
Said end of October.
end of October.
Great.
And we've already had a couple of towns express interest in our old ambulance, so I'm gonna keep that in there as.
As we
Yeah,
estimated.
Hopefully we can get that done by the end of the year. There's a little lag where until the new ambulance is licensed, we have to hang on to the old one.
Right.
Sure.
So, but hopefully, I'm shooting by the end of the year, we can get a deal done to get that old ambulance out.
Right.
So,
Great. And then it would just go in the books for this year. Right.
Okay, so.
Alrighty. So you're
So
just gonna let us know, pass out the info.
When we work to finalize the 535,
Okay.
the next financial form in front of you.
Right.
To sign.
Yeah, because we gotta do the tax setting, or we gotta get DRA to agree
Yep.
to our numbers. Right. It's better, yeah, for tax rate setting.
I did have one question on the form, though.
Yep.
For our FEMA disbursement, the 3311, that 95,000. I noticed it was placed under 3379 for state sources. Is that, and I don't know, was it FEMA through the state?
Correct.
Okay,
Yep, we verified
Okay.
that with Matthew, our auditor.
okay, cool,
and He's
thank
happy
you.
with that placement.
Okay. Great, thank you.
Okay, any further questions on 434?
No.
All right, we will continue on the other forum next time. Let's move on to 2026 budget guidelines. So I just wanted to get the board on record. I had this added to the agenda as to before we enter our budget season, which will hit us fast and we'll have a lot of extensive meetings on the 2026 budget, but I think it was useful the last year in particular, the board did a general guidance through the town manager to the department heads as to what we would like to see overall with regard to the 2026 budget.
Mhm.
Last year's general guidance was to keep the expenses at inflation or below for the town operating budget. And then we would add to that, it's also part of the town operating budget, any changes we make to personnel, which we make as we go along, and any capital improvement projects that are brought forward to us from the planning board.
Mhm.
And then we would add those in as well. So the general guidance is, or was last time, inflation or below.
Yep.
We still feel, I think it's probably
think that's
similar. We
still-
have to
yeah.
do it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Steve, you had a chance to look at it or talk to department heads about it, or any of the department heads are here. Have any issues with that? I want to think about it and then get back to the board. But as a general approach, I think that's where the board wants to go. Dan, you haven't?
Yeah, I think that's fine as a general approach. I do think trying to keep an austere budget to the extent that we can is a good thing for the town. We don't want to just wildly be spending money here. There may be special exceptions, however. And, I think we should certainly be amenable towards.
Yeah, and that's
considering
exactly what we
those.
did last year. Yeah, if there's
You know,
something that
there may
stands out,
be
we would consider it, but,
certain exceptions
right. But
to that.
No, obviously, it's just we have to be frugal with what's coming.
frugal-ish.
Well, it's,
Okay,
Yeah, we had met as a department head in August, where I had a very preliminary discussion with them about 2026 and asked if there were any large surprises that I'm unaware of within their operating budgets, and I did not.
Right,
have
good.
any feedback. But
That's
That
good.
should track fine.
yeah, I think
all right.
the one area where the budget is challenging is we have to address and things such as new positions
Of course.
that we may have or need.
Yeah.
And certainly that will lead to an increase in the budget. That's just to be understood by everybody.
Oh, yeah, we'll spend a lot of time on the personnel side of things.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, we always do. And in fact, I think part of this discussion today, review, thank you for providing us with a breakdown of the fringe benefits that goes into a compensation package. I think we will fully discuss these when we get into that budget discussion later on. I don't know if anybody wanted to say anything about them at this point in time.
Yeah.
I think we do need to review those every year, given the nature of labor
Mhm.
in state. And we also we're coming up on the review of our agreement with the resort and with WV Resort Association on.
Actually, this just happened this morning.
Oh,
It's,
go ahead. Yeah.
Our operating name is Waterville Valley Business Association, so WVBA.
WVBA.
Instead of an RA?
Okay. You call it a Chamber of Commerce.
I know, right? Probably should.
Okay, so the BA, so I think the way we had signed an agreement, it's good through the end of this year. I think we're waiting for by, I'm trying to remember the exact date, but we're supposed to get, is it by October 15th?
I believe that's right.
I think it is the estimated expense for next year and also what the cost was this year, and then any modifications, changes, true ups that we have to make.
Yep.
I think we also agreed to have a meeting with all the parties beforehand, so there won't be any issues or problems when we're looking at it, because we almost always have questions, but the idea was to try to get in front of those.
Right. And not have a last minute decision.
Right.
Are we going to do that via a special meeting or via one of our regular select board meetings?
We could do it via regular meeting.
Okay,
It's
that's
not a,
fine.
Timing.
Do we have a target date for that?
well, that's what
Well,
I was getting to, yeah.
Yeah, we'll need to reach out, right, to my sim. Katie is the one to still contact about that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I was just looking for the framework in which you wanted to proceed with that discussion, and then I'd be happy to reach out to Katie for her availability.
yeah, and let's just talk ahead of time and then she can give us the numbers for this year and the estimate for next year, and then we can go from there.
Maybe your first meeting in November. That's a suggestion.
Or the second one in October. right?
Second.
Yeah, because I think we get I think according to the agreement, we're supposed to get it on the 15th.
Yep, so that gives a week.
So if we get it on time, then it gives us about a week to look at it and then talk to Katie about it at the next meeting, regular meeting on the 22nd. That would work. See if that works for Katie. I don't know. Do you want to bring it to the attention of the WVBA for that? Would they like to come to this meeting as well?
I would assume they would allow me to represent
Okay,
that.
So you-
party as well, but
okay.
I will double check.
very good.
Yep.
All right. We're done with that. Move on to old business, special use permit regulations. So I think I heard you say, Chief, you're still working away on that?
Yeah, that'll be part of the,
Okay,
we'll talk about it now.
very good.
Okay.
The C and D letter, Megan, any updates there?
Craig is in compliance with what we set for.
So we can now remove the cease and desist.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
yep. I presume we have to do that in writing.
Yeah, probably. Thanks for working through this.
Okay, moving on, water restrictions and fire danger. I don't see any need to change anything at this point.
No, the
Chief?
governor, put a statewide burn ban. You
Mhm,
probably
I
saw
saw
the
that.
notice.
Yep.
Yeah.
That'll be in effect, until the conditions change, so. We're just doing regular patrols, just watching campgrounds. The Forest Service is a little different. for us.
Mm-hmm.
There's some education, some of them think differently, but, if it's not a managed campground or they have rings, they shouldn't be burning, period. So we're keeping an eye on it up on Triple I Road.
Mm-hmm.
And Cielo Vista.
Those campsites open till Columbus Day?
Yeah, the campsites are actually open until they close the road. The campgrounds themselves, I believe, close right after Columbus.
Right, the campgrounds, right,
But the roadside camping is open for as long as the road camp.
is passable,
the road's open.
okay.
So do we have any idea how much rain we got yesterday?
Yeah, 0.23, just under a quarter of an inch.
Like that much, right?
Yeah, well, hopefully there's more to come.
Almost nothing. Pray
It's
for
like
snow.
Forecasting over an inch tomorrow.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. And we're still holding steady with our wells, no
Yes.
issues there.
Yeah, I actually looked back, current day, back over a month ago, and there hasn't been really any deviation from levels from a month ago to
Okay.
current, which was beginning of the drought, if you will. Before we were even labeled as moderately
Right,
dry.
right.
Or abnormally dry, rather. So the wells are in good shape.
I don't remember, how deep are they?
Well,
Say
one's
4?
roughly like 29 feet, and when it's recovered, so.
Right.
Static water levels like 29 feet.
Hmm.
3's a little bit shallower than that, I think it's like 20, 22, and well 2 is basically right next to
The river,
so
Yeah.
it really never even dips, even when it's running. The recovery rate is so quick there, so.
Hmm.
Yeah, like 20, 25, something like that, they're all relatively the same, gravel packed wells, so.
great,
The river looks pretty sad.
It does, yeah. I noticed that this morning on the way in, that it didn't look like it changed at all.
No.
What their rainfall we had.
quarter of an inch
Yeah.
isn't gonna do anything.
Surprising, 'cause typically when it's this dry, the rain just runs off. It doesn't, everything's so dry, the ground, so it's like hard pan.
Right, so I see, so it runs right into the river.
Yeah,
Mm,
but it didn't, it didn't look like it made any dent at
Hmm.
all.
Yeah.
Kind of surprising.
Okay, so we will, I think we're good with just keeping it a level 4 water restriction and
I think so for
a
now.
ban on, well, state now, but also the town
Yes,
on any solid fuel. Is that the correct terminology?
Yes. Don't burn any wood.
Don't burn it,
Propane is still allowed.
right,
So, propane cook stoves or any of the propane fire pits, they can still use those.
right,
But just the solid fuel stuff.
is a no-go, right, and stay 10 feet away from the nearest overhang. The building, I think that was an issue too, in that fire you guys put out, the little fire pit was too
You-
close.
Well, it was too close and it was in disrepair, holes at the bottom that allowed the ashes to fall through, catch the ground on fire, and then the ground fires can smolder for days,
Right,
before they actually pop up. That's what happened.
okay. I've not received, we've not received any, you guys haven't heard anybody asking, any commercial entities asking for relief from water, level 4 restrictions? Okay,
Yeah, and conflicting information from the tennis folks.
Mhm.
Obviously.
yeah,
So
well, they should
Tom
come,
said he had stopped watering, but Rainey said he was watering, but he had stopped. But of course, now it's rained, so they're probably fine for at least a week or so.
all right,
they know what to
Anyway,
do.
so
yep, they know,
let's hope it resolves itself.
okay. Let's go ahead and move on to signs, if we're good with that, let me just write a note here. Okay, so there are two groupings of signs here that we want to look at. Let's look at, I think, the easier one first, which is the Britton property.
Sorry, I didn't notice, and maybe I'm missing,
Mhm.
but this Portoma application, I didn't see that in the.
Yeah, that didn't have it on there. If you wouldn't mind, one more piece of new business is sign permit
Right,
application.
right.
Oh,
So there are three things to talk about under signs, really.
so many signs,
So many signs, right?
yes.
So let's just do the Britton property first to get it out of the way. So the issue here is now that it is a formally designated municipal park, if you would. To what extent do we want to control the parking at either entrance, right? Right off of West Branch and then off of Osceola Road. I had discussions with Mark about this, and he was keen on having no parking except for a very small area, right where we've already established a little crushed stone area, and to have that sign for Bertie and David and maybe 2 or 3 other spots. But beyond that, he wanted to put up no parking signs at either end. I thought that was too restrictive, but we said we'd wait and have this discussion once we got the big sign up, you know, the dedicated sign. So the issue, let's look at Osceola Road first. The issue there is that Mark felt that if we allow parking there, it would complicate snow removal or snow storage in the winter. So there should be no parking there. So Megan, what's your view of the matter? I don't know if you had an opportunity to talk to you about this.
Does not talk to me at all.
Mhm.
I. During the summer, parking there isn't an issue, but winter wise, you know, we do come through, store snow. We clear it every once in a while, cause it used to be where the buses turned around, don't know if they're still gonna be utilizing that. But in the printouts, there should be a no parking through November 1st through April.
Yes, and that was what Mark and I were working on, the idea of just having parking allowed.
During summer.
Yeah, basically, yeah, not
During
during,
our
yeah, when we're not likely to be plowing.
non-snow season.
So November 1st, April 20th is fine with me. If we wanted to put a sign up there. The other issue, though, is that is constantly used during the day by contractors.
Right.
And therefore, we're not providing people with parking who want to use the park that we now own, that we created. So do we want to have a sign that says, you know, for recreation?
Residents only?
Not residents, but
Recreation
for people who want to
Right.
use, for example, drive there and, you know, park there and then walk down, use Mike's Dream, either just hike or to walk their dogs,
Why
and
are
keep
the
on going up.
contractors parking there?
Because it's a big open area to park that's not in the road.
Some other contractors storing material there as well. So,
Well, it would seem as though parking reserved for recreation land use.
Yeah,
ought to
I think
sign it
that,
up.
right, I think that should be a
That
sign
would be
and
appropriate.
then no parking, during these dates. I think I think you put 2 signs, one saying one saying the other.
could do the arrows on either side,
Mhm.
they're pointing in to
Mhm.
parking. And then the one in the middle could be the for recreation.
Land use
land
only,
use.
Only.
right. That gets to Chief, I don't want this to become a major sign
Yeah.
farm. And it's kind of starting to look that way a little bit to me, but, overnight parking is something we usually talk about. I know you didn't want it on, Valley Road, and it says no overnight parking.
Yeah, I mean, all the on-street allowable parking is that way, but. I would. Encourage, I know us putting some signage there,
Mhm.
what we want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
I would just encourage until it becomes what you want it to be. It would be hard to enforce, you know, like what they're used to, you know what I mean, there's a defined area.
Yeah, I think there'd be a
parking-
very long
of the
grace
parking
period,
area.
right?
You know, certainly the times and encouraging, you know, rec only. But, hard habits do die hard
Yeah,
sometimes.
Mm.
And I know
I agree.
once it becomes whatever we decide that it's going to be, and there's some definition there to parking areas and
Mm-hmm.
grass and that sort of thing, it's gonna be hard
Yeah,
to
it
enforce
seemed to
that.
me that it would be good to try to get the signs up now because I think we're looking at the end of
Mhm.
the contractor season for a lot of parking there
Sure.
maybe. And so if
Yeah.
the signs go up, I don't think we need to be zealous in our enforcement, but if someone were to call in, if they could be gently reminded, but then
Mhm.
starting in the spring, once we open up again, on April 20th,
Mhm.
and then, then maybe still a little bit of a grace period because that's new as well.
Yeah,
And then-
it's a little easier for, just thinking of the guys excuse me, for enforcement wise, when it's a
Right,
defined area,
right.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, so I just get it started and then just give it some time.
Because we run into, well, I'm not parking there, I'm parking over here,
Right,
kind of.
My car isn't really there.
Yeah,
It's there.
and
Yeah.
you run into that. Oh, I saw that. That's for those people.
right. Yes, hopefully if you have the signs on either end, as
Mhm.
Megan is recommending, and a sign in the middle, we're saying what the restricted use is for.
What I, what we would like to see is, the geography does just as much, or if not more, of the work than the signs do,
Right, right.
so.
Well, do you think it would work then if we had that with, one arrow pointing one way at one end of the that turnaround and one arrow pointing the other way?
Yeah.
That's pretty,
Yeah, we can do that and
Right.
we can adjust it and make
Yeah.
suggestions as we go.
Okay.
forward, but-
and then one in the middle that says for rec use zone. I think the biggest impact will be on whoever High Country contracts to do their landscaping.
Mhm.
They tend to park there, I think, most of the time.
Rich, if I could just add this.
Yeah, please.
If you're trying to target parking strictly for the park,
Yeah,
recreation is gonna be loose.
Right.
Because what I mean by that is, I can tell you, as being at the water treatment plant, a lot of people would utilize that beginning area to get on the trail and go out.
right.
So they'll park there.
Right.
It's not gonna be utilized for the park necessarily, they'll be usually.
Got it,
utilizing
for whatever.
Yeah,
Sure.
connect the Red Feather Trail.
Right.
Connect to, what is
Right.
it, Depot Camp.
That's,
Intersects.
yes, that is Depot Camp, right,
Just a point, because that certainly is a beginning.
all right,
Even cross country, I know you said that it wouldn't be open during the winter time, which is fine, but just as a, people
Sure.
would utilize that to begin where they cross country. ski.
yeah, no, and that was one of the reasons why we want people to do that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, can't allow them to park there because of the snow.
Yeah.
Potential snow storage area. But, the rec center, I think we've been struggling with how to characterize that sign as to what the use actually is for recreational purpose only or rec land use only. I'm not sure what works. Do you have a suggestion?
No, I don't. I was-
Brooke has her.
We may want to look into, maybe not now, but
Mhm.
deciding what we want the use of that land to be and then identifying that on a sign, a lengthier sign that says. These are the uses or, do's and don'ts of what we would
Well,
like to happen on that land.
Yeah, it's not with us today, but I think one of the things we talked about was actually a sign just like that. But actually down where the two big signs are, like you would see normally, like underneath it, no landscaping or no fires, things like that, or
But having it
no
either
tree
end
cutting.
of the typical entrance to the area.
Right.
Would probably be appropriate too.
Right, no, that everything would be duplicated on the other
Right.
side.
Almost envisioned, almost like the trailheads do, have an info.
Yes.
Yeah.
An info
Right.
board,
We can-
put a
we
little
can-
tiny roof over it,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
where your defined parking area is, and
Right.
this one board.
Right, no, I think
Has-
that's good for off the West
Recreational
Branch,
Activities has
right,
restrictions, has all the info
right.
on it that you need to.
Yeah, no, I think that's where I was going with the West Branch entrance, because people park on the left anyway, and I have no problem with that,
The only problem with parking along that
mhm,
left-hand side that you're talking about is the people who are parking there tend to have fairly large trucks,
right,
and it shrinks that road up pretty small. If someone were trying to get to the actual Britton Lane.
right.
to park.
No, actually, that's something that Mark mentioned, that he wasn't keen on parking there. That was one of the reasons that he mentioned, as well as the aesthetics, the look of it. you know, you have the parking right there. Well, that would be strictly a no parking area then, because they go around and park.
Mhm.
Right, where we have the little gravel area that we can extend out. And I was thinking of an information board there,
Mhm.
for that end of it, that would satisfy a lot of these issues. So we should put together that. Should probably try to get that up and running by spring,
Mhm.
I think, on that end, on that side. But we can certainly put no parking sign if on that stretch on the left leading to the sign before you make that left. It could be just a no parking sign with the two arrows this way,
You're right.
just one sign in the middle, no parking. That would take care of that. So where are we? What do you guys think?
Well, the next,
Go ahead.
Want to Jeff sign for next year, for the budget for next year, if we wanna.
Yeah, no, I think maybe this whole idea of a little,
Yes.
I'm sorry, kiosk,
Yes,
thank you.
yeah.
Incorporate a sign into that.
Yeah, the trail map could have.
I was exactly what I was saying, trail map, because then you can see, you can go right up the connector to Greeley Path, to Depot Camp, to Deep Woods, and I think what's great about that, with the new trail coming down from, is it Moose Run? Connecting the Deep Woods, you can potentially park off of West Branch. We can get a few cars in there and they can ski all the way up, just have to cross West Branch Road once. It's the only time they'll have to, remove their skis and not have to deal with the Livermore
Yeah,
parking issue.
where are we at with DES though, in terms of what we can do with the land? Have we heard from them, or the attorney was reaching out,
Yeah,
right?
well,
The
there,
Land use attorney.
yes, well, the environmental engineer, I think, was
Henderson.
Mark,
Mark,
thank you.
Yeah.
We haven't heard back from him, I don't think, yes?
Not yet, about 2 weeks ago, we gave him the green light to
Right.
move forward with
Right,
a proposal that he gave us to fill out some forms
right,
that DES needs
right,
to.
and to take the money from the reimbursement from FEMA that we got, but we haven't heard back.
I can reach out this week,
Okay,
see where he stands.
before we invest too much in signs and find out we need to do something different.
Well, at that end, but at least putting I think the parking.
But
needs
yes,
to
no
control.
problem, yes,
I
absolutely.
think this to get people a chance to use it.
well, we're on the parking, are we gonna choose a sign?
Well, that's what I was getting to, right? So I think we're talking about on the Osceola Road side, for the time being, just no parking with the one in the middle saying for rec land use only. Maybe that'll specify it a little bit.
I just wanted to point it out.
No, it's a good point
Yeah,
for a middle sign. Let's see how that goes.
yep,
Up until November 1st. If it's not working, we'll refigure out what we want to do,
yeah,
I suppose. And if it isn't working for you guys, you can let us know. But I think we don't have to be particularly zealous at the beginning, let people know
yeah.
that this is the new regime.
Mhm.
And then at the other end, the West Branch side, I think you wanted, Megan, just no parking along the left side as you turn in. And we'll work on a more extensive kiosk with also the do's and don'ts. The do's and don'ts could be very important when it comes to DES.
Yeah.
I think that's what you guys were getting at.
Insurance as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should
Should we have something before next spring? If it's just a sign that's listing the do's and don'ts? As,
Dave, to maybe wait on that to see.
okay,
What happens with the land, I mean, right now. The uses of the land are, I mean, now that the town owns it, it's probably a little bit, it's different now than
Mhm.
insurance, but.
mm-hmm,
You know, people are using the land, and so we have to decide what do we not want them to do on it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, right now. The town uses it, they make I think they do make little campfires and do different things like that on the land, right? It is used.
They have in the past,
It
yeah.
is used, so do we want to go in and say,
Right.
okay, we can't do that, or post it at least, so that if something happens on the land, we have it posted?
no, yeah, I remember talking to Mark about that, and the question is in New Hampshire law, if you post it, then you become responsible. Right, but if you don't post
No,
it,
you have to post it, to say what you don't want to happen.
all right,
Because then if it happens, you had it posted, so that protects you.
Okay,
So for example, with the waterfront, saying no lifeguard on duty, that protects us.
I see.
So
Right.
they also, in terms of not wanting people to go out onto the dock, we know people are gonna go onto the dock
Right.
and sit in the boats at night. They do it every night.
Right.
Every summer.
Right,
But if you haven't posted not to do that, it protects you. At least, but this is my conversation with Primex.
okay, good,
So
good.
I would imagine it would be very similar. Now that we own it, we probably should have something posted in terms of what we
Right.
are okay with the uses of that land.
Yeah, so we should do that sooner rather than later, and then incorporate whatever we do into a larger kiosk or something next year. But to post something now. I know some of the things we talked about, at least Mark and I talked about, would be, no tree cutting, no landscaping,
No dumping.
Yeah,
no dumping, no open fires. I think, and there's somewhere down there we were thinking of, without town approval for some of these activities.
Well, you could do the same thing we have on the beach sign, which is for permitted fires. You go to the town and recreation department for a permit.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. We could, although I think DPS wanted to get away from that big fire pit that was along the water, right?
Yeah.
It's gone now. Someone took it up.
Yeah, I think it's been removed.
Yes,
Uh,
was that us?
But we would treat
Right.
it no differently than the beach, fires on the beach.
Because, right, it's just, you need a permit. Fire anyway.
And we're gonna say that.
Right.
I'm sure we can have that offline. Here.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. So we can get these other signs and then if you wouldn't mind having that discussion and getting at least something up to protect us, protect the town until we get a larger kiosk with a trail map and other things, that would be great. So that just leaves, a reserved sign for Bertie and David Britton. Any of those work for me? What do you guys,
I think the top two.
the top two? Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the top one.
All
I
right.
mean, it looks fine. It stands out. I don't think we need to be too aggressive about towing people away.
No,
All the
I agree.
threats and such. I mean, this is a friendly,
It'll be a neutral color, it'll be brown.
yeah, that'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why don't you go ahead and take the first sign and you're free and get it in that one spot. And then just put the no parking sign on the West Branch side where you want it.
And then
And then in the roundabout, get the two and the one in the middle.
if we run
Take care of that.
into
All right.
serious problems where people are, abusing their spot and they can't take it, we'll address that.
No, I don't imagine.
Change the sign and
Right.
telling people to Texas a few times and they'll get the message.
They sell the cars there. Multi-use path signs. I see you've got another possibility here for us. I think it's more, yeah, it's a bit more obvious
Yes.
as to what we're looking for
It is.
a bicyclist, children bicyclists, yeah. I like it better than one we have. The question is,
And the only other thing I was thinking.
Mhm.
No parking. Instead of littering the side of the.
right, the road,
The road, no parking signs.
right,
They make prefab large, no parking stencils. that
Right.
You paint that can become part of the addition to the normal striping that happens in town. And, you can do it. one-
Yeah, no, I think that's the way to
100 feet or
go.
something.
yeah, or at key areas where we see a lot of people parking,
Yeah.
right? I think that's a good idea to go with the parking part of it, okay.
How large are you imagining for this?
I wanted y'all's input.
I think really big,
Okay.
What
right?
were you saying?
Really
Big.
big,
I was just doing this
Yeah.
with my,
At key
Arms.
areas,
yeah.
key intersections,
so
Yeah.
roughly
So
few
about the
feet
size
on a
of the
sign.
sign,
I
maybe a
think-
foot
What size
off
is that
the
map?
edge.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
something like that.
yeah,
And I don't think we need it every X feet, just
No,
At-
yeah, a key.
at just key, at
At
intersections,
Yeah,
right? That would work.
Yeah, if you
And
have a long stretch, you might want to put one in the middle.
so do we want to do any of this before the end of the year, or
The
do you
plan
want
will
to?
just rip it up, right?
So we'll wait till,
Yeah.
that's what I
Yeah.
was thinking. So we'll just wait till next year to follow through on, add it to the list of things. So the delineators are gonna be coming up in a few weeks. Okay. But the cat's eye sort of embedded ones do not work in the winter, so we're waiting for the fall, for spring for those as well. Okay. Anything else on that?
Not for me.
All right, and that leaves us, our last sign question is the request for a sign.
Is the
Oh.
date correct on this?
I'm not even sure where they're talking about either. I was a little confused.
This is Sport Puma.
Did you have you had a chance to look at this? Chief? Why don't you pass that along to Chief, see what he thinks.
Well, typically it's at the intersection out here.
I think that's what they're saying, but I couldn't read
Yeah,
the
it's
hand.
usually just the
Whiskey,
same
yeah,
side.
Whiskey Access
Route
Road
49
And but
and
and
Town Square entrance.
and Town Square entrance, yeah,
is that how you read it? Okay.
Yeah,
yeah,
but
that's.
it
pretty much
says,
You guys have a
it,
question on the date?
it says set up 10-3 and take down 10-5. That's not the holiday weekend.
Is that when it was
Yeah,
scheduled
what
for?
weekend?
That's always
is,
when it is. That's
I
what's being
see.
advertised and marketed, that they will be there for the holiday weekend with the tent sales, so.
Isn't
Three is
that
Friday.
like 10-8?
No,
or
but it's
something?
not Columbus Day weekend.
It's it's Columbus
what I'm
Day, the
saying.
following
I
weekend.
guess it's
Yes.
10/13.
Yeah,
That's it,
yeah, that's my guess too.
What are the dates? That
I-
we should,
Tip,
what
typ-
date should it be?
Be the 10 to 13.
well, 12,
Yeah.
because usually they start on the 12th,
Well,
so the
on
12th
a
to
Sunday.
the 15th.
Right, that Columbus Day weekend,
Mhm.
whatever those dates are, that weekend,
Yeah.
those
I
weekend
think we've
dates.
seen them.
They've got the
put it up
wrong
a day
dates
at a
on.
time, or-
So let's amend the dates appropriately and.
Well, we need to
I
check.
think we need to reach out
We
to
need to
them
check
and
with
make
them.
sure.
Okay,
I think we're fine with the sign.
I don't have
Yes.
a problem approving
I
it.
think if you approve it for whichever weekend,
Yes,
then it's,
All right,
we will.
we will clarify, you'll be able to clarify
that, But,
Right,
already.
yeah,
So I will make a motion to approve the sign permit application by Sport Toma for two temporary signs as described in the application. I believe 4x4 is fine. On dates to be clarified
but
Since-
for a weekend. or
For
a
the
long week-
weekend.
For a long weekend.
for a long
Right.
weekend.
Yeah.
and I will second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Did you want to take that, chief, or do you want us
Sure.
to?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Are we done? Hopefully
You wanna
with
sign it?
signs? Oh, yeah, I could sign.
Yeah.
Sorry about
I
that.
can sign it. Sign it.
It's one of the joys of being chair.
Yeah.
Today is 9/24/25. Thank you. Just clarify the date. Are we hopefully finally done with signs? Oof,
Everywhere signs.
sign. All right, the next item under old business is the continuation of easement review. I think we have. I think Wendy, were you gonna talk to Tina at the Golden Eagle? I think
Well,
we still need
had
to meet
met-
with them.
Megan and I had met in terms of the walkway.
The rail-
or the railing
right,
and that sort of
right.
Thing, but we hadn't, yeah, as far as easements, we can certainly. Yes, continue with that.
I think we
What-
really haven't had a discussion with them on the current.
Well, I think they're very well aware of the vagueness of what currently exists.
We
and
haven't actually
understand.
sat down and,
But they were going to, and is there a reply perhaps in the email? Because I had thought at one point we had asked them to reach out to their council and send us what they would like to see.
The ball was in
For
their
the-
court.
Right, and it was supposed to be, I believe, the end of July that they were gonna get back was the last thing I remember, but it's hazy. But,
Look for
Yes.
something from Tina.
or Tina and or Doug,
Okay.
yeah.
I'll take a look.
I think what we're
And-
looking for is a sit-down meeting with them
No,
just to go
absolutely.
over the agreement,
But
right?
they were
The
gonna,
easement.
yeah, we asked
initiate.
them to kind of start what they were looking at and then
Right,
be
And
able
then we
to
were,
all right.
talk back with that. So I can certainly reach out to Christine if you don't.
Yeah,
see
do you want to
anything,
follow
just
up
let
on
me
that?
know.
Just,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
should try to fix that.
Absolutely.
Or
Yep.
fix is not the right word, update it.
Yeah,
I think our issue there is we would like to make more specificity as to what the
Exactly.
town is responsible for when it comes to
exactly,
maintenance
for the parking area.
for the
yeah.
parking area,
Yep.
access and any issues of damage. Sort of a use, basically just a standard use agreement.
Yep.
To go along with the easement. All right, so Wendy, we'll just turn that over to you
Okay.
to follow up on, keep us apprised of it. Did we set a date to talk to Tyrell about any further easement questions we had? Where did we leave the discussion on that? Do anybody remember? Tim, do you remember? I think there were a couple of things that we both were gonna look at
Yeah,
and then meet again. I'd
right.
have to go back and look at my notes. I just like to continue the process.
yeah, we had agreed minimally to at least updating the language to reflect all of the appropriate parties, because
Yeah, that
you
was
know,
that was an
everything's been
easy
sold
fix.
so many times over.
Well, yeah, there were a few
So,
additional
and
things
then
that
there were a
would be
few
updated.
other clauses that we had agreed to remove because they didn't make sense anymore.
This is with regard to the
On-
Corcoran Pond
Yes.
Yeah,
easement,
that
right?
part.
Yeah,
And we had agreed, I believe, to
but, and I know we can summarize all that
like
in our
path
notes,
widths
but
and so forth.
just to be able to move on, we need to recap those like all together to make sure, you know, what we've talked about
All right.
and we're all on the same page, as well as there was another set of easements to go through, right?
I believe so.
So,
I need to go back and look at, we need to go back and look at those. Mark was taking the notes for all of that, as I recall. Were you there, Steve? I don't remember if you were,
I was at the meeting.
he was at the meeting. I don't know if you took any notes on it. I can go back in my notes, but I think
Yeah.
we just need to re-engage.
right, yeah,
On any, well, not only with Tyrell, but any other easements. I mean, that was the whole
Yes.
point, was trying to just get through all the easements as much as we can this year.
Summarize all the notes we had in that meeting.
Well, that deals with Corcoran Pond, and that also dealt with, there was another easement that related to as well, right? Was the Corcoran Pond and
The ice arena? Zamboni.
no, that should be, yeah, we wanted to, have more specificity on the location there, but I don't think we engaged on that because we were waiting for the outcome of the planning board. And then we tried to incorporate that into the application process to specify where the Zamboni could dump its ice.
but perhaps that's something else we could hope to have done by next month, so
Mhm.
maybe, I don't know, if we could reach out and try to schedule a meeting, probably outside of one of our regular meetings.
Yeah, no, I think
Um,
make it a special meeting. We got a lot of things piling up.
Yeah, if we can pick a date, maybe the week, well, the 14th or 15th, somewhere in there. After the holiday weekend.
James is up here all the time nowadays, so.
Okay, and are you around mostly for,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
All right.
Okay.
Well, why don't we throw some dates your way?
Sure.
Cool.
So you're saying the week of,
The week following the holiday weekend, so like the 14th, 15th, in between our regular meetings,
all right,
if that makes sense for
He's
everyone.
definitely up on Thursdays. He's up every Thursday, so.
what's the date of that Thursday?
The 16th.
Want to look at the 16th? Yeah, All right.
That free time around noon,
all right,
1, 2 o'clock.
Okay.
all right.
10:16.
One,
Noon work for you? Wes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it work.
noon, 10:16.
Fine with me.
All right.
I don't think I have anything planned.
Is there any other party we have easements with that we need to talk? I have to go back and look at my notes.
Yeah, had you started looking into those, Dan? 'Cause I know that was one of the things that,
The ones I had were predominantly the ones
And around the
surrounding
pond,
town
right.
square and the pond
Okay.
and.
Could you relook? I think you got the full package, right?
yeah, because that was sort of,
We won't
Yeah,
divide
no,
up
absolutely.
the
I will
tasking, so
take a-
take a look and see if there are any
Yep.
other besides the Golden Eagle Lodge. the Corcoran Pond easement, and see any other easements we have with the resort / Tyrell or anybody else. Let's try to at least have initial discussions on those.
Sure, absolutely.
DBO Conservation Commission at that time, I believe.
Noon on the 16th. We could meet in a different location.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. That's
I'll figure
fine.
out a location.
We can use upstairs. Be fine, yeah. All right, anything else on easements? Are we done with that?
Discussions.
All right, Boulder Path Road Design Discussion and Support. As I understand it, the engineer, HEB is looking for some guidance from us on the matter. There was some lack of clarity as to where we thought we were and where they thought they were. What was it? Could you
A
be
lot of it
more?
had to do with what was signed and what the contract represented. So,
Right, okay, a minor issue then.
Yeah, I think that what they were looking for was they wanted to be able to wrap up final design work on Snows Mountain Road for everything, including waters and sewer. And the way that town meeting voted was to vote $100,000 for engineering.
With engineering this year
That's right.
for both projects, right?
Right.
Was it both projects or just, was it Boulder Path and Snows? No, it may have been just Snows. That was just Snows, because we had the engineering already for Boulder Path
Right.
last year. Okay,
Right,
Mark did sign a contract, but it was only a portion. It was for like don't hold me to these numbers. I'm just gonna give you a rough estimate, like basically 35 or 40% of what the full contract was for, because we didn't have the full amount appropriated by town meeting. Because town meeting voted to just do that preliminary engineering to get basically like 30% final design drawings. Then go back to town meeting, have them approve that we wanted to finish the design this and build the sewer line.
right, that was for the sewer, right?
Right. They were looking for us to complete that work at the same time as Boulder Path, so that we
Right.
could bid it and build them at the same time. That's not what we,
No, that was never, it was always a 2-year project. I think Boulder Path 1 year, Snows Mountain the following year.
Go back and review the,
we looked at the
Town
article,
meeting.
Dan.
What?
Steve and I looked at the article and how it was approved, and that's what it said, was that it was for the engineering work to
Mhm.
get us to the point where we had to decide if it wanted to be built.
because at that point we can get a price estimate.
That's correct.
Right, this is on Snows.
supposed to get us, if you will, cost estimates for what it would be. This was a big issue in the meeting
The article.
because we had already paid $100K or $148K or something
Mhm.
prior to that.
Well, that was for road
engineering.
repave.
That was, yeah,
And it was made clear during the meeting that this needed to be something more than just preliminary engineering. Because Mark referred to the original money we spent as conceptual engineering. And I remember because I was upset during the meeting because the concept is that we're gonna repave the road with new, water and sewer lines under it.
I think that was just
Okay.
a terminology issue, Dan,
So-
more than anything.
Well, I think what we need to do is find
I-
out the state of play. We probably should have a meeting with HEB
Yeah,
and let's,
Yeah,
Yeah.
regardless of what
Right.
town meeting.
Right, let's see
we
what-
don't have the money to pay for the balance, so I
Right.
mean, it's
Right.
null and void.
right, so we need to talk to them where
Okay.
we're at.
Yeah.
Okay.
But last,
fine.
so there, I
Yeah,
mean, there are
yeah.
there are two issues going on. One is with regard to Boulder Path. Mark kept that very much under his control, and he was going to talk to HEB. After we had selected one of the designs, I forget which
Right.
one it was off the top of my head. And I think we had the golf club asked for some changes to it. And Mark-
additional cutout and
Right.
cutouts with
They
built-in.
changed them a lot, they've stuck with the same design
Right,
that y'all voted on that you wanted.
Yeah.
They've made the changes.
Right. Right. right,
Once,
right.
only other thing was the water line.
Yeah, and I've actually changed my opinion on that at this point. I
Okay.
don't think that we should do that. I
Oh.
don't think that we should install new water lines for a couple of reasons. The 8th Fairway side,
Hmm.
we don't have any records of service lines or houses that are on that side, but there's a number of them that go off of, I believe it's King Lane, that goes down off of Osceola Road.
Yes, I know exactly, right by Tri-Pyramid,
There's
there's
number
a
of
small
houses.
little,
Yes,
that's where it goes down?
there's a number of houses that connect
From there,
off the fairway
right?
from there. So the problem is if we discontinue the use of that main, they're not gonna have any water service. So we would have to either extend, a service line across the entire golf course, which is not an option.
No, that's where we're trying to get away from that.
Or somehow we'd have to run a small main down King Lane. So from a standpoint of, there's also I'll add one other factor into that. We'd have to reopen up Snows Brook Road, which we just
Ah.
finished, what, a year and a half ago?
Yeah,
Because the way the mains are rerouted, would be rerouted, you would essentially make Green Peak and Black Bear be on a dead end main, which
oh,
we don't want that. Black Bear is probably one of the, largest buildings in town. We don't want them to be at the dead end of a main.
right.
So anyway, there's a lot of factors.
All right, well, we
that-
should probably meet
Yeah.
again with the engineers to go over
Yeah.
all this and
Well,
find out where we are.
And especially because if we aren't putting a main under, does that mean we can do a shallower,
It doesn't because the sewer line,
We, s-
how could I forget the sewer? Right, okay,
that's, again,
Yeah.
there's so many layers to this.
Yeah.
all right,
yeah,
It's actually had been a while since we had talked about it.
yeah,
yeah,
And I had to refresh my memory on all of
All
it.
right.
And so the sewer line that was the factor on why we wanted to wait for Boulder Path. was
right,
right,
right.
Because we didn't want to have Snows Mountain Road fail on the sewer line
At meeting,
town
right.
And now we have a pipe in the ground that's
that's
never gonna.
never
connect
get, right,
anything.
we didn't want to
So,
spend the money on it,
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Right.
so I think that was how that was worked out. I could be wrong, but. that's
No,
how
I
I-
think you're right.
Well, again, why don't we have a meeting with HEB and
Yep.
see where they're at, where we're at, we can discuss all these details, and I would like to also propose that, perhaps we bring in, Bill Dower earlier than
Yeah.
planned,
Yeah,
to be the project manager. I mean, I think the idea was that once we got done with all the engineering and prove it, that we're gonna bring Bill Dower back in. He was our project manager for the rebuild and repave of a number of roads, Snows Mountain Road, Tecumseh. So I think we should go ahead and do that
yeah, that's a good.
now.
idea.
I mean, so we
Yeah.
should check with him and see if he did mention that he'd be available to help in any way we wanted, so maybe bring him in earlier
That's a good idea.
and have him attend all the meetings and as, just hire him as the project manager, basically.
Sure.
So he can weigh in on these decisions. So if you're okay with that,
Yes,
I think it's a good idea, since I proposed it, so I guess I do.
yes.
Yeah,
That's a good
are you
idea.
good with it, Dan?
Yes, I'm okay with that.
All right, and we, go ahead, all
Away for the next 2 weeks,
right,
but has expressed interest in helping the town out,
Right.
continuing to help the town out.
Right.
When he returns.
all right. Yeah, if you just want to shoot him an email and say, hey, we're thinking of, we would like to hire you as the project manager earlier than anticipated, or however you want to phrase it.
Okay.
For Boulder Path and Snows Mountain Road, so as soon as you get back, we'd like to schedule a meeting with you, and we can then follow on with a meeting with HEB as well, and get all the parties in the room so we can figure out now what we want, now that our chief water officer is telling us, maybe we don't want to put a water line down, a pipe down and through there.
And it's not necessarily from a practicality standpoint. It does make sense from that.
Yeah, that was always the point.
Not from how things are laid out right now.
Right,
So
right.
I just don't want to make a bunch more. work.
No, and that's that is an
Yeah.
important change that would impact.
I'm glad you're thinking of these
Cost.
things.
Yeah. But and for Dave's sake, I didn't want to necessarily create an issue on the firefighting end either. And they need the hydrants as far as I'm concerned. The only reason we have them is because we need them for fire suppression. And the last thing I want to do is make a scenario where
Yeah,
one of the biggest places they would need it.
It's at the end of,
Yeah,
yeah,
you'd be living it as opposed to being center point of the water system, basically.
Right. which we want to be.
Like Mark, I will both directions.
yeah.
Yeah.
so
As
cool.
one who's
Yes.
had a fire, I appreciate that.
All right, so we'll go ahead and get a meeting. Let's see when we get a hold of Bill Dower and get him to come in
Yep.
when he gets back, and maybe you guys want to talk to him first. And then we can have the meeting with HEB. When did HEB want, I think they wanted to know this rather quickly, didn't they?
Yeah.
They're kind of like
I told-
treading water.
I told Josh that I would get back in touch with him. I was gonna talk to Megan. They had given us some plans to look at.
Right.
I told him I'd get back in touch with him after I had a chance to review the way that the article was amended, because I couldn't remember the language, because it was
Right.
amended. There was one article that was removed and the original one was amended for Snows Mountain Road.
Correct.
I'll look at it again just to refresh my memory, and make sure that I'll actually cut the excerpt. I'll send you all. an
Thank
email
you.
With it.
That
what
would
the
be
language
great.
is, because it's a little bit,
Yeah, so it usually happens with amendments.
Yeah.
It gets, yeah,
yeah, a little bit convoluted.
right.
The one we removed was to see whether the town notionally wanted to consider putting a sewer line up Snows Mountain Road.
Right,
And that had actually been addressed in the prior year, and the town had voted actually to consider putting that up Snows Mountain Road.
Yeah. Okay, so
So
I think what we should do, the
that's
one
why that
thing,
was removed.
the one thing I do want to ensure is that we actually start doing something to Boulder Path Road next year.
Yeah.
Right. I know we're trying to connect the Boulder, we have to.
Yeah.
Boulder Path and Snows Mountain, but I think we want to move forward
Yeah.
with
and we're-
Boulder Path in 26 and Snows Mountain in 27.
and truly, worst case scenario, it's not like the price of pipe is going to be
Mhm.
you know, even a big percentage of the project for sewer pipe to be put in the ground. Worst case scenario would be in the ground with the potential for future expansion, it just wouldn't be utilized.
Right,
Okay,
So
Right.
there's that as
Right.
well, but it's not, you know, we're only talking maybe $30,000 or $40,000 and on a
Yeah.
1.4 million or
Right.
whatever it is project.
Right.
So
right.
it's-
It's worth
We're
money, short money.
1.8 something
Yeah,
on
so,
Okay,
Snows Mountain, or on Boulder Path.
because they're already gonna have the base removed anyway.
Right.
So
Right.
it's really just bedding the pipe and.
let it sit there.
I think one of the
Okay.
outstanding questions we had, my recollection is how so from the top of Snows Mountain, where we would connect and how would
Well,
we
run the
connect
sewer
down
line.
On the sewer line.
Right, I think that
That
was.
was one
that
of the
was one.
outstanding
Mhm.
questions they were looking at, which was. Do you run it down Snows Mountain, because there's no convenient way to connect back down or
Yeah,
something.
well, we can engage them
Yeah,
when,
that was one of
when
our
time
discussions.
comes.
I know we had.
Right, rather than running it down the road. All right, right, so get back to them and see what kind of timeline they're looking at. I
Yeah.
mean, we may not be able to wait for Bill to get back from vacation to have a discussion with them.
Yeah, and just to be clear, Megan and I did tell them, to continue work.
Yeah, yeah, on the,
Making sure that Boulder Path.
Boulder
was
Path,
ready
right.
To be, you know, ready to go out to bid.
Right.
As if, you know.
right,
So.
Okay.
We are continuing work in that.
Great.
regard. We didn't tell them to pause or anything like that.
Great.
good.
all right.
Thanks,
Excellent.
Dylan.
And we'll stay with you, Dylan. Do you have any updates on the wastewater treatment facility project?
Yeah, I have a few actually, so. We have a meeting. Town staff. Rich have a meeting. With EPA. And New Hampshire DES tomorrow,
Mhm.
at 11:30, I believe. We have a meeting.
I believe that's
prior to
correct.
that, just to recap with the town council. Just to make sure we talk through everything and make sure we understand exactly how it's gonna be presented. Aside from that, Steve and I set up a meeting on 10/2 with Black and Beach to go over a number of items that are kind of just been hanging out there.
Mhm,
So project management is one of them.
right,
If you recall, we had a meeting or I don't remember how that worked out. It may have been Mark, myself, and Black and Beach, met. This was going a number of months back, but we talked about project management and how that could look from Black and Beach's standpoint.
right,
So I kind of laying it on them now, saying, hey, you guys have had like 5 months probably.
right, and
Yeah.
yeah, Mark was really following up on that. I mean,
Yeah,
as I recall, they have a whole
Yeah.
structure
they do,
that can do it
right? And
if we
now,
wanted to
obviously,
use them.
critical than ever.
Right.
At
Yes.
this stage.
Right, all right,
So I'm going, that's gonna be a large portion of it. value engineering, we're nearing that.
Yeah,
Is November is roughly what we're looking at.
Mhm.
Finishing 30% final design, and then it's straight into value engineering. We need to find a firm. So I got a couple, and by we collectively, the black of each in the town.
mhm,
And you talk to them about if they have companies that are engineering firms that they utilize frequently. If they can, you know, lead us, point us in a direction. As well as an existing facility assessment, and then there's a number of additional
they,
amendments.
they follow from that.
Yeah, and there's a number of additional amendments that have just kind of been hanging out there that we haven't necessarily signed. The agreement for, but they're doing work because it's
Sure.
kind of couldn't wait.
Yeah.
And then the last one is subsurface investigation, at the base lodge.
Yeah, where are they at with that?
I had the last board meeting, I had told you I was gonna have a meeting with them, and I haven't had that yet. I mean, obviously, everything with Mark's passing.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
But that we're gonna broach that subject then, and I mean, they're aware that the town told them that we needed this work to be done prior to winter.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So they really don't have much time. So I'm anticipating that they're going to have a plan for us in place, to be executed before Veterans Day. That's what I'm hoping anyways, but I wanted to make sure I had time to coordinate with Tim. That's
Right.
the crux of it. I
Yeah.
don't wanna have someone show up at a ski resort and Tim have no idea.
Yeah.
You know, that's not how I operate. I mean, just
Yeah.
to be transparent with it as well, so, other than that, I mean, it's kind of, it's. They're continuing work, and
Right,
you have a meeting as well Friday with DES and Black and Beach, just as a status update, so. But, yeah.
yeah. And when,
Plugging along.
yeah, when are we going to discuss WIFIA?
That's gonna be.
Monday,
That's Monday's discussion?
Well, that's also a component of the financial analysis,
Right.
analysts that we hired.
Right,
That was
PFM.
one program that they were looking into deeply.
Right.
So I have started the data collection that they asked for
okay,
and hope to have all of that information to them by the end of the week so they can start working on that for us.
okay,
Okay,
but to your point, Rich, we have a meeting with DES to kind of hear their side of the story, if you will,
Right.
on the funding end, so.
yeah,
Mm.
but I think we know where that's going.
Yeah.
Yeah, so WIFIA may be extremely, can't be extremely critical, it's either critical or not.
yeah.
Okay. Anything else, Dylan, on the
No.
wastewater? All right. Let's move on then so we have town manager update. So the first thing I wanted to discuss is, do we want to go back to our old model, just having department head updates? What do you guys think?
I mean, having department heads here.
Yeah,
or,
We
right,
had changed to
right,
having the
yes.
town, but Mark,
Yes.
giving the updates, backstopped by written reports.
I mean, I don't want to speak for all the department heads, but I think the folks that you have in this room today are happy to attend your meetings, Rich. I think that if we continue to provide the reports in advance as we've done, and you prepare any or ask any questions even ahead of time that you might have, just to kind of condense this
Mhm.
portion of the meeting, or if there are any particular topics within the reports that you feel it's important that the department heads speak in public about. I think that direction seems sensible to me.
I'm good with that. I think it's beneficial to be able to look at people and talk to them and, you know, if you will, hear it straight from the person. It gives an opportunity for a relationship with the board, if you will, so where we can, you know, communicate with each other, which I think is a positive thing.
Okay,
Um,
Wendy, you're,
I agree. I mean, as long as
Yeah.
everyone has the time to
Yeah.
attend these meetings,
Yeah.
it's really helpful.
and if you can't
and
make
having the-
everyone, it's okay.
yeah, you
Right,
can
but
send
having-
someone in your stead.
And
if-
having
if
the
necessary.
summary in advance is nice because then,
Yeah,
we
it
know what's
narrows a
coming.
relative talk during the meeting if you already see it ahead of
Yeah.
time. So we'll go back to having department head reports. I mean, attendance updates, I should call it, department head updates, but it's we'll still get the reports. Is that what you were saying, Steve? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
So
fine
they
with
don't have
that.
to read through their report, it's just they're
Right.
here, and if we
Yeah.
have questions
We
about
have
the
questions,
report.
right?
That was
then
really the
that's-
only caveat, the
Right.
feedback that I received, is the expectation that I have to bring forth some dialogue that I
No,
can contain. in-
no, as you hear, if we have any questions on the reports, or if there's something you wanted to highlight, that's always been my approach for the department head updates, something beyond the normal or something you really want to highlight for whatever
Yeah, I
reason.
value those reports up front. They're
Okay.
helpful, I think.
Yep.
I read them every single
All right.
time.
Well, that's kind of the job.
Yeah,
What?
That's kind
yeah.
of the job.
Well, I know, but
So we'll change this, so we'll go back to department head updates for this section. And that will include department head updates and a financial report. We can either have it broken out separate, or if you want to just have it as when you do your admin, it works. All right, so since we're gonna go that way, Brooke, you've been sitting here listening to all this. Anything you'd like to tell us? Any highlights? If not, you don't have to say, you can say, nope, nothing outside my report unless you have questions.
The only additions I to the report that did not include would
Yeah.
be that today I attended the statewide recreation or statewide comprehensive recreation outdoor plan. It's a plan put on by the state and also the Land and Water Conservation Fund grant. They grouped together a task, a technical advisory committee to come together to make this plan, and it has done every 5 years. Except for now, it's gonna be 10 years. So I was a part of that advisory, and it looks, it's good. There's a lot of people at the table that are all over the state and looking for priorities for, the direction of outdoor recreation, which also helps us to identify how we can get funding. So it's a positive thing to be a part of this group. So I will keep you
Great.
updated on that. As well, I did submit my revenue adjustment recommendations to Steve for this year. I believe that's coming up at the end of the month.
Yep, we reviewed the 434 earlier in the meeting,
Okay.
that was incorporated your.
Okay, great. So those are the only things I did not include with
Okay,
the update that I wanted to touch on.
great. So you're into after-school mode now, after-school program mode.
We do have
Mhm.
17, I think I.
You mentioned that in your report. Right. 17,
So it's a big percentage of the school.
Yeah.
it's like half.
Nearly half. So that's great. That might warrant hiring another person. We're gonna kind of see how it goes. To see if we can make it with not doing that, but
Okay,
it just becomes difficult when we have a sickness or absence of one of the staff. So,
sure.
Yeah, that's pretty
Okay.
much it. Unless you have questions.
Any questions on rec?
I don't have any questions.
All right, Megan, Public Works, what would you like to tell us?
Nothing outside of what I sent in the report, other than the handrails.
Yeah, let's talk
Yeah.
about that. I've forgotten exactly how we were gonna deal with it, in terms of sharing, right? We were gonna pay part of it,
So.
they were gonna pay,
Yeah, we're
Right.
gonna
So
pay the
what I
town.
did
Yeah.
is their building where they were wanting.
right, that's from the Sally Point, right,
75 feet.
right,
It's property line where we want it 41 feet, so Golden Eagle side, 75 feet is what they would be responsible for. Town side would be 41 feet,
for installation costs, material and installation,
yeah,
right?
and it is broken out.
Right.
I had to break it out in the quote that they sent.
I see, the 75 and 41 is what that is. Okay,
Are you performing installation?
Believe it or not. This is the outside vendor, it's stainless steel, so it'll last through winter, salt, laying, all of
Okay.
that.
Do you have
So-
an image of what it would look like?
I do, but it didn't print well,
Okay,
so.
maybe you could forward it
I'll
to
forward it
Steve
to
and
y'all,
he could,
absolutely.
yeah.
Mhm.
So in front of us is the 9,225. Has the Golden Eagle opined on this yet?
Not sent this to them yet,
All right,
just because I wanted to get y'all's thoughts on stainless steel. If you wanted a different look or not.
Do they offer different finishes from this?
They
Is there
offer
different,
a very wide variety, yes.
is there a difference in cost if we were trying to mimic like that hunter green that was there now? Or
Uh,
was there before?
There would be a cost difference. I didn't check on coloring at all from them.
The concern I have with stainless steel would be people using it in winter, it's gonna be brutally cold. And maybe even a bit slippery. And we had wood
Well,
railings
No.
before, right?
No, we
No,
had,
they were metal. They were
So
metal.
Painted metal.
They were painted
Painted
metal.
metal though, right?
Yeah, they were painted green. Yeah, that
Yeah.
I
hunter
mean,
green.
people are gonna have mittens on in the winter if it's that cold. They
Yeah, we
should.
just wanna make sure it's
Yeah,
not
this
too
would be-
slick, if you
Yeah, this
will.
would be
Right.
slick stainless steel. It'll be sanded down, so it'll have kind of a rougher finish, like a matte finish.
Right.
Okay.
We'll burn hot water when the hockey kids put their tongue on
Two birds with one
Please
stone,
tell me
right?
That hasn't happened in the past.
So, I don't know, Wendy, did you want to explore something beyond the stainless steel? Or
I
we can,
guess-
we can give a range to Megan if we
Yeah,
wanted to.
it'd be nice to see, I guess, an image and
Absolutely.
if there is an option for a hunter green, just because I believe that would tie into their building and perhaps how it was before, if, or some other color that brown,
Yeah,
whatever could be
brown or green, the
appropriate.
usual sorts of,
Yeah,
yeah,
and
yeah.
what
ti-
that cost differential would be.
Right. I mean, we can certainly go, if we want, we can go ahead with the 92.25 with the expectation that it may be more, we may go more, let's just see what it is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it would be good to get. the
I would
process
like to
going.
know how much more before we approve that much money.
Did they
Well, I
say,
think we're gonna approve it either at the 92.25 level or something higher. Right?
did they say how long it would take for
So
this to,
they could come install it October 16th.
if we agree today? Or,
No, they
okay.
gave me 30 days for the
oh,
quote.
okay,
And when does it,
But they said if the earliest, if like, if we agreed, when I received this, if we agreed, they could install it October 16th.
I'm sorry, run that back, I lost the bubble
So
on
when
that.
I received it.
Right, on the 15th of, right, that's when they said,
They said that they could install it October.
and here we are a week late, well,
Right.
9 days later, and so it may potentially be moved back, is what you're saying.
It could be, but it's still looking like October.
Okay,
We may have enough funding for that project, given that amount that we were talking, the 95.
92,
There you go.
92.
92.25.
In our municipal buildings, town buildings line. We're getting quotes right now for gutters. For public safety and potentially painting public safety. So I would like to see how that flushes out before. Or we'll at least have some more conversation about. Where
Right.
we find the money. for
Yeah.
that
yeah,
project.
I do think it is kind of important to find the funding for this because we need this in before. the
Yeah,
winter
no, I
time.
think we're gonna put it up there. I'm just concerned that if we wait to get the additional information, we're
Yeah.
not meeting for 2 more
They're
weeks.
pretty quick with getting information. We were going back in discussions and trying to figure out what would look best, but be pretty functional in the winter. And I decided on stainless steel for them just to give me a quote. They got it to me within a few hours.
Okay,
So I can reach back out. I'm in a class in the morning, but I'll have my laptop, so I can reach out in the morning before the class starts, and I'm sure I'll have it within a few hours.
and then you could forward it onto the Golden Eagle Lodge and get their feedback
Yep.
and.
And
Right,
I could just attach,
I mean, we have to have their approval for their half of it.
Oh, absolutely.
oh, yeah, we're not, yeah,
I mean, it doesn't make sense for us
no,
to
no, this
approve
is
this
all
if they're not
assuming,
going
right.
to follow through and approve on their end of this.
I mean, do we want to do not to exceed? I mean, I just would, otherwise we gotta get back together again and vote
Right, I mean,
before the 8th of October, if,
Right.
So Golden Eagle hasn't seen this yet.
Golden Eagle has not.
So how about a not to exceed 11,000? I don't know what's
No.
reasonable for paint. What do you guys?
What are your
think?
thoughts, Steve?
I just wanna make sure we have the funding for it.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, this is. What did this was all part of the repaving project, right?
Exactly.
well,
Well, what do we, for this,
that account has been fully expended.
we have already, okay.
That we agreed to pay a third of the paving,
Okay.
I believe, $85,000 was the warrant article. And that expense has been completely absorbed because we did the paving of the pathway in the back,
Mhm.
which was 6,700 or so,
Roughly, yeah.
and the remainder of.
All right, so we used all the money that we had not set aside any money for the railing.
Correct.
Okay,
I'm fairly confident that 10 could be absorbed within the municipal building budget line. I wanna make just double check to make sure. Cause we did
Well,
use
okay.
some of that, where we had planned to do windows on Dave's side of the house. We had allocated $20,000 to that, which we didn't use, but we have done a little bit of extras elsewhere, so.
So we could go not to exceed 10,000 just to keep the
Sure.
ball rolling and then see what this extra may be. With the caveat that it can fit into this budget line,
I'm comfortable with 10.
Okay.
all right?
And that the Golden Eagle Lodge is
Well, and
happy with the.
that they have
design.
to, yeah, otherwise it's, Dan was saying, wouldn't make any sense if they don't want to go
Right.
forward
Yeah,
with it.
I'll put it to Tina,
Okay,
right after this.
great.
In the future, if you're gonna bring something like this to us, you should already have contacted them.
Sure.
It bothers me that you're bringing this to us and asking us to approve an expenditure of this
I
amount.
was not
Without-
asking to approve an expenditure, I was asking
So-
about the material specifically.
All right, so I'll make a motion to we want to phrase this to accept the Vermont Custom Handrails and Metalwork quote for the town's portion of replacing the railing on the paved area between Golden Eagle Lodge and the bridge. That'll cover it, I think. But the railing doesn't go all the way down that way to the extent the 116 feet. And not to exceed $10,000. And also contingent upon Golden Eagle Lodge agreement to pay their portion of it.
And can we also be contingent upon seeing the design and color and agreeing with the
Yeah.
color option?
All right, you make that amendment? You second it with that amendment?
Yes.
Okay,
Second.
very good. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Alright,
okay. I think it's important we get that. If we're gonna do the railings, we gotta get them in.
Yeah.
And
And
we
just-
do need those
Yeah,
railings.
just so we're all on the same page, we do know it's one side of the walkway, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll work. So we got into that discussion based on department operation reports. Did you have anything else?
No,
Okay, let me go. All right, I got a couple quick things. Yeah, what are your plans for the benches this year? You're gonna leave them out like we did last year? Okay, have we gotten any feedback? Have you guys on the new ones, whether people like them, didn't like them? I mean, the whole idea was to stop moving in that direction and replacing.
feedback. I figured you would hear. it.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard anything. Well, sometimes folks reach out to you guys directly. Have you heard anything
I
on the
haven't,
benches?
which I'm taking as a good.
Yeah, that would be
sign.
my,
Yeah.
yes, usually the feedback would be, we don't like them. All right, so are we comfortable, the reason we didn't bring them in last year is because we didn't have any place to put them, right? We still do not have any, I thought it was,
No place under cover, we do not.
I thought we stored them in that upper level where Theater Under the Stars we stored their stuff there, so we didn't have room for the benches? Or was it in a, yeah,
Star stuff is up in the old transfer station.
Yeah.
right. Is that where it was? Right, where do we used to store, where do we used to store the benches?
In the Connex.
In a Connex? All right,
Right,
Yeah.
so.
so we don't, right. All right, well, okay, well, that makes it simple then. Okay, we'll probably have to look in our budget, see if we want to purchase any more and replace. I think the whole idea was if we didn't get negative feedback from the town on the new benches, 2 new benches we put, that we would move forward with, because these are degrading
Well,
and,
because with the new benches, we don't have to take them in. That
No.
was the whole point,
Right.
just to get Dan up to speed with it. So that's why
right,
we're leaving the old ones out that are wood,
Right.
but then the new ones, in theory, slowly replacing with
right,
non-degradable.
material, right.
Yeah.
So I think we'll just make that part of our budget discussions this year if we want to continue on with that replacement
Yeah.
program. We also talked about maybe getting rid of some of the benches, and we had several options that we considered, so
Right. Okay.
we can look forward to that discussion.
Do we have a plan for what we're gonna do for the, like, selling the street signs that we
That
pulled
was
down?
one of my points.
And
Yeah,
we need to put I think we should put a plan together. There's certainly interest. I think that interest will wane if we,
Mhm.
wait 2 years and they're sitting
no,
around somewhere.
I think the plan was just to collect them all. when when we
We've
met
done
about
that
it.
at this point. We've collected them, right?
So if there has been a lot of interest. We've had people call us,
Mhm.
stop us and talk to us about
Mhm.
them. The ones we've taken down currently are ones that are intersecting town roads.
Right,
So, but all of the ones so private property.
right,
private
the
roads,
ways and the lanes.
Ways and lanes that
Right.
intersect town roads won't get done until next year. So if
Mhm.
there were a certain group of people who are interested in, like Valley Road, Triple I, those signs, those are down, and we have the ones that were salvageable. But the.
So we
ways
have
and
a
lanes-
limited set right
We
now,
have
is what you're saying.
Right, I think that's how we anticipated it always was going to go. We just haven't put together a program as to how we wanted to sell the old road signs.
But it would make sense, I think, to have them all together and do it all at once instead of two
Now, we
separate.
have purchased the other signs, correct?
And
So we have all of the other signs in-house. It's
Correct.
just that the installation won't take place until next year.
Correct,
the
And
full,
Because
why
I
isn't
know
it
that-
taking place this year?
because I only budgeted for the town road signs posts. And posts are quite a bit of money.
yeah, that was how we decided to approach it last
Yeah.
year, Dan,
That was the decision we
And-
made.
in the budget process.
Yeah.
So we can, well, yeah, that's a different question
Oh, I
from,
gotcha.
That's a question.
oh, yeah, I'm sorry, chief.
Are we looking to recoup revenue or possibly use the sale / auction of these signs towards a charitable
We hadn't gotten to that decision.
endeavor?
Yeah.
We had talked about that more, I think, along those lines when we talked about it.
But the other thing,
Right.
just to interject, we do know that the fireworks are getting so much more expensive next year, and we have an amazing auctioneer in town who would be able to bring us a fair amount, I believe.
Right.
We could talk him into doing that, to auction off these signs to help pay for
Right.
fireworks.
Right,
But if we're waiting till next year, that could get dicey,
right,
so
well, maybe we just auction off what we have,
maybe
you
that's
know,
the way to do
we
it.
see when we hit April or May of next year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
So they're stored now and,
if we can put together a plan, and then we can socialize that plan with the town, we can garner the interest, and then we can have an event, if you will, where we sell these or auction them or whatever we do, however we do it. And I think it's a good community event type thing.
sure.
There's
Mhm.
certainly been quite a bit of interest. I get asked about signs all the
Yeah.
time.
I think the answer is we're just not
So-
done with them yet, and we haven't put together a process of how to dispose of them. once we're done,
Yeah.
we'll figure it out.
So,
I mean, we can make it the first thing for our list in spring to get
Well-
posts in and signs in, so that way you can have them down before July and possibly get it done before July.
Yeah, I mean, let's see what other things are on your
Roughly how many do we
work
have?
schedule.
how many-
There were a
roughly
lot.
How many do we have now, and roughly how many more are there to go? Just some,
Signs
yeah,
in general,
yeah. I mean, we have some that are down that are good enough to be sold.
yeah, I did
Is
not
that-
count those. Because the old ones, there were 2 signs on a post
Yep.
for the same road name.
Yep.
Some, only 1 was salvageable,
Yep.
some 2
Yep.
were salvageable, but I did not create a count yet of that.
Okay,
I think we just continue to, you're done with the road signs for the season, right? Putting up, and so we'll need to budget for more next year's
more
budget,
posts, right?
more posts. So I think it's just a matter of waiting to next year to finally, put the rest in. I think that was the plan, and then sell the old signs.
Right.
That was the
Would it
plan.
be possible for you to provide us an inventory of what we do have at this juncture? Let's say in time for the next meeting or the meeting.
What,
after that.
inventory of what?
Of the signs
are
that we
sold.
The
currently
signs?
have.
You mean account?
Yeah,
Just a simple
not
count?
a count or a count and maybe even listing. I mean, that's how you garner interest is people would say, oh, there's Tripoli, oh, there's a. Boulder Path.
I don't know. It's a
Whatever.
pretty busy season for them. We're not gonna do anything with it until next year. Unless you're thinking we move it up.
Well, there's 2 ways to do it. We could do it as, we can wait until next year. Or we can do it potentially towards the end of this year and actually get money that would help us with fireworks and things like that. So it's just. There's different thoughts. Obviously, there's more than one way to skin the cat.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm asking,
Right, so
the schedule's pretty.
I'm just trying
Cool.
to,
Is there a time that would be easier for you, that you'd have the time to do an inventory and start to pull a plan together? Like, what would work with your schedule over the next couple of months? Or is it better to wait? I know we have snow coming. And that affects things as well, but what would work for your schedule, Megan?
We can do an inventory in the winter.
Okay. And then maybe plan
Most of it
for,
on the ground.
okay, so
Some
then,
stored in the DPW building.
Sure.
So
yeah.
I
That would
think
be
that's
great,
fine.
and then that would give us time for a spring event and.
Right, and figure out how we want to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. What do you think, Dan?
that's fine.
Okay. All right, that was one of my issues where we stood on the sale. Thank you, the speed board, I see it's in. We'll see how it works. Or not, but thank you for DPW and DPS for getting that position there and up and running. Did Mark ever talk to you, Megan, about repairs this fall to Packard Field as a result? Right, so we didn't budget anything for it, I know, but
Or was that under rec budget?
I don't know if it was under rec.
Okay.
Did we put it under, we may have.
I thought it,
told Brooke about it, and I believe she said she was gonna get in contact with somebody.
Okay, all right, so that's where it was then. Yeah, when you get a chance to,
We had money
right,
for Packard's Field. I don't know if she had spent it earlier in the year in preparation for the spring and summer. Or, because I don't recall specifically budgeting money for the repairs.
okay,
yeah, I didn't either, but it may have been within the rec department
right.
I can look at
budget lines. Yeah, but it's probably getting too late to do anything now. We're basically talking about big open patches of what used to be grass,
Right.
it, possibly.
so.
Yeah,
I-
I'm not sure anything substantial could be done now.
No, that's what I'm
Maybe
saying. We
wait
may
till
want to, we
spring.
end up waiting for,
Yeah.
I know you guys put down some of that matting to, right, to,
The map was on the hillside.
The hillside next to it. Right. 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 All right, why don't we just go ahead and,
Fixing.
Packard Field repairing? From, did we put that in your budget, or was it, were you holding money aside, maybe a better way?
Halted the turf maintenance for the year because
Okay.
there was no point in
That's what it
putting all
was.
the money.
That was it, okay,
into the maintenance of the field when it was gonna get packed up
right,
like it did.
okay,
So I was going to look into calling back that company and seeing if there's anything that they would recommend we do going into, you know, the fall, winter, that would help it.
okay,
Um,
why don't we,
That was
Right.
kind of that's where I'm at right now. I haven't reached out to them yet. but
Okay.
Megan keeps prompting me about that. I've never repaired a field at this level.
Right.
You know, so I'm not sure what they're going to suggest, but I think they will have some
right,
suggestions.
so there is some money just because we didn't do the,
Sort of, but you know,
Turf
they'll plan
contract.
to seed the field that goes down to the bridge and also.
Right.
Work at the beach, so, but you know, I'm sure that there's something in there that hopefully we can get something going, something started to.
Okay.
Repair the field.
so why don't we just follow up with that and see
Sure.
what needs to be done in the cost, and then we'll see what, if any, money we have that we can start some of it.
Yeah.
If there's time in the fall, if not. We'll have
Yeah,
to
I
do it in the
think our
spring.
lesson learned here is that. While it's really nice to support the theater under the stars and such. But that's really not a great location. For it because of the damage that we incurred.
It may be, or we, every year we put into the budget X amount to repair the damage. I don't know if they've
Yeah.
asked to come back.
I think we were very clear that it was a one.
We did say it was a
Yeah.
1 year, but I remember Mark saying that Donna was asking for future years. Since it
They
was a
did have a
successful,
very successful. summer.
successful year,
But it
and-
also goes into the.
right?
The discussion, I know it's still very much in planning stages, but of a potential stage there, or on a more permanent.
Yes, it was
scale
wrapped
there.
up into that
There's a whole
issue
lot of,
as well, and whether
Discussion.
other outside actors were gonna help with the funding
right,
for a theater under the stars, et cetera.
or just a
Okay, so
theater.
that's
Right.
news to me. I mean, the way I understood it, talking to Mark was that was going to be one time.
No, that is the
Year
understanding.
That is-
situation.
That is the understanding.
Request would be if we do get into conversations, it not be 2 or 3 weeks, before. It was very last minute. when-
Absolutely.
Well, the extent of it was, I think, what was surprising.
Just the whole decision to have them on Packard Field was very last minute.
Okay,
Was brought to us very last minute, so I would expect, some further out planning if we wanna.
Yeah.
Consider that for the future.
Absolutely.
yeah,
She would like to come back. She thought it was a great venue.
Yeah,
Likes to come
but-
back to Zach location.
I think it's up to them to decide whether they want to make that request of the town.
And just say that we have to get in front of that because I've worked
Right.
on it for many years.
Right.
And if we
Well,
wait for her to make that request.
then the answer is no.
in-
Then the answer is no. Yeah, I mean. Our agreement was for 1 year,
It was,
I think,
yeah, it was very.
but if
clear.
they want to come to us and ask for, yeah. That's fine, we just have to have enough time.
That's-
I had, sorry, I had a couple other things. We did the benches. We still have those bloody, no maintenance, brought at your own
Yeah.
risk.
Yeah, can those come down?
Well, one is not in are they either of them in
No,
our property?
They are, but they both were.
No,
One's on.
and the other one is actually not on the bridge, it's actually
We had.
on Town
Yeah,
Square.
we'd heard communication both from Tim and James
Right,
previously that they're fine with that coming down.
okay. I would like to
And-
follow up with that.
Yeah, and I.
Especially since now we've paved it, we're gonna put a railing in.
And maybe when you reach out to the Golden Eagle, you could also ask if they would mind if we take that sign down.
I mean, once the railing's up or something, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just if the sign can come down. That'd be good.
thank you.
And if James and Tim said it was
They
okay,
definitely were. yes.
let's, yeah, why don't we just go ahead and take it then?
Yeah.
That one that's on the Town Square side. Great. And they are kind of like a sore thumb there. I noticed, Chief, that now the water flow is so low over the dam that kids or maybe adults who are somewhat impaired, like to go down there and drink and throw pumpkins and
Yeah, I mean.
I don't know if there's anything you can do about it
Yeah.
whenever it's low. Yeah, issue.
Yeah.
Maybe just
That
notice.
time of year, you know, we try to keep an eye on it, but we rely on a lot of the businesses too to report it.
Right.
If they see it, it's happening after hours.
Yeah, I think that's what was happening. It was some pumpkins for the harvest event. I think they
Yeah.
got thrown in the pond and thrown over the dam. There were bottles down below where people apparently were sitting or walking or something
Mhm.
on the concrete portion
Yeah.
Yeah,
of the dam.
I'll let patrol
Yeah.
know, be sensitive to,
Right.
excuse me, that this time of year.
Yeah, I know this is gonna sound like I'm sign crazy, but you could put a no trespassing sign at the bottom of those stairs. You know, on the other side, not, but, well, but
Pumpkin throwing?
I think we make the point,
Yeah, we deal with the sparks in the winter, try to
Right.
break the ice.
Yeah,
right, all that
In
stuff,
October,
yeah.
yeah, Right.
sticks all throughout the year,
all sorts of stuff, I'm sure.
yeah.
Okay, I was repair Packard Field. I'm almost there. The other thing I had, you have put on your work schedule, getting the first original, whatever that language is, trail system. Great, working on it. Great. Okay, I thought, it's a tickler I have.
Talking about getting together to work on that, but I was out.
All right, I got that derivation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good whenever it happens, but I just have it as a
Yeah, I
tickler.
think part of that was contacting the Department of Transportation or something to see if we can.
If we go on the state,
Further down.
if we go on state, I think we were looking at the entrance by Upper Mad River Road, we're
They're gonna
somewhere.
wanna know size and all of that.
Yeah,
for
but we gotta
Right.
figure out what we want. Yeah,
Accepting it, so.
Yeah.
Figure out
yeah,
exactly what we
but when you
want.
guys have that, just bring it to the board. In the meantime, every time we get together, I'll say, hey, what about that?
It's a great idea.
I
Is
think
it?
so, yeah. I think that's all I had under a couple of things I had from Megan, so thank you, Megan. Dylan, water, wastewater,
Keep this short. We had our wet testing, actually going on this week, I know this.
Yeah.
But for the past 2 weeks, I didn't get you guys a report, I apologize, I actually slipped my mind entirely. We had a couple visits from DES, one was a compliance inspection, annual things, nothing out of the ordinary, then we had an operations site visit, it's just a, more or less the operations one is, they're the only state, actually, New Hampshire is actually the only state in the country that has an operations bureau that's provides support to operations. They
Really?
get that funding from EPA, so in order for them to maintain that funding,
They have to do it.
Yeah, they have it basically like broken up in quadrants that each member of Operations Bureau has to visit every single site. Every year, so this was just
Wow.
their annual site visit, and again, it's a great. It's our federal tax dollars, it's not our state, but it's a great, great, resource, yeah, thanks, I was trying to pull that out of thin air, great resource that I think every state should have.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure why New Hampshire is the only one that still has it. But regardless of that, the best part of, the best update I could give you guys is, one of my employees, Chris McLean, they had.
He's
a
out.
Baby.
Oh, yes, wonderful, right?
Uh,
Everything
Chris
well?
McLean, he
Right.
was 8 pounds, 13 ounces. So-
You gonna put him to work?
Yeah.
Good healthy size.
There's the training now.
Yeah,
That's a good healthy size.
yeah, that's what I
Good
said.
for him. Them,
Happy,
yeah.
healthy,
Yeah,
and,
good.
When's he coming back to work?
Oh,
uh,
that's so.
We got needs, I just have to look out for the town.
all in all, things are going well.
Excellent,
Okay, Good.
good,
Thank you.
right. All right, administrative services, Mr. Assistant Town Manager, also interim town manager. You want to go over the finance?
Finance, any questions on the financial report? Right, notice this, there was one discrepancy week over week, Wendy, I know you like to look at that, things that are going in odd directions, which are in one of our revenue lines, just because we double booked a deposit, so we had to
Oh,
pull that back.
okay.
Other than that, We did do some scrubbing of a couple of our expense accounts. Just as we're getting closer to year end, just to make sure things were coded appropriately. Found a few things in utility bills that were allocated to one department, could have went to another department, so we're just tidying up as we get closer to year end.
So- Was that the buildings and grounds, the
Yep.
4194?
Along to Dylan.
Oh, you
Sorry.
I could slip it under someone else's.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Do you have anything on, Dan, do you have anything on
No,
the
I
financial
didn't
report?
have anything on that.
Just another financial report for you guys to, take a look at is, we pulled an aging of all
Oh, I did have one question for you.
Yeah.
aged receivables for water and sewer.
All right,
Were you able to go through and fix the last time? I can't remember what I asked.
It was the percentages, right? And how they.
Yeah, there was something wrong with the
I'm
percentages.
assuming
how
since
they
there
were
are blanks, I
calculated.
would say that's a no.
that's,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
Okay,
you saw some negative percentages.
Yeah.
that He didn't like exactly, so I asked Katie to work through that.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There was some probably formula errors
Yep,
where the number was 0, but yeah, that should have been negative or something. It's my recollection.
and the only other thing I didn't have on my report, because I just received it today, is I need to draft up a letter for the state's clean water revolving fund, so that so that I will have the ability to request disbursements out of
Okay.
that loan that we have.
Yeah,
Prior, it was Mark, so this form will just allow me to, and I put Dylan as secondary for now, as another town staff member that can do these disbursements reports. And it just asks for a vote, and then for Terry to attest that the vote took place, and I can have him sign that tomorrow.
as town clerk.
Yes.
so Dylan had not been on the previous,
Steve would have been secondary, I believe.
I would say.
okay.
I see, so you're just moving up and moving him in,
Yeah, and I also listed, you'll see the town manager as well,
right?
as a title of a town employee who can do the same, it's just we don't
Yeah.
have
Right,
that name yet.
Right.
all right, fine, so you need me to move a motion that permits the town of Waterville Valley to move forward with submitting this application. That is adding the municipal services director
And the assistant.
and the assistant town manager to the designation of authorities for clean water SRF loan.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
I,
Aye. Good, done.
Good.
There's a misspelling in here, but
Thank you, Rich.
we got the,
It's a state form.
it's a state form and we
Oh.
got the vote, that's what mattered. So before we go into the issue with these delinquent accounts, is there anything else in administrative services you'd want to?
Just what's on the agenda, Rich, if you recall, if you want to look at the request to spend capital reserve funds. for
Yes,
security.
I do, actually. That's
Yeah.
what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
All right, background, can you give us a
Yep, so a
little bit of that?
couple of repairs that were necessary at the rate, the Courage George Cottage, one on the fence.
Mhm.
And another had to do with a roof panel and existing, and extending a roof over the porch.
Mm-hmm,
I think both of these repairs were recommended by code enforcement. This year or through an inspection that Leah decided to take care of.
Sure.
I also provided you with a balance sheet showing what we have in the capital reserve
Right.
account for the Curious George Cottage.
Mhm.
So this is what you see there is existing. We have not paid the vendor yet for their work, so once we do, you'll see that balance decrease by about $1,200. $12,000.
12,000, yeah. So it's at 56,270?
Correct.
We'll have to decide whether we want to up the amount in the budget season, I think, for this account. We do it every few years.
Yeah.
I don't know if we need to this year.
10 or 15. I think.
Yeah, if you just keep it at that level where
I
it's,
thought they were doing really good though with not spending much, that there was still a.
well, this is
Oh, the
actually our
cottage,
building,
not the-
yeah, the
yeah,
cottage
never
that
mind.
every few years we
Right.
add
Right,
10, 15, 20 to account for the drawdowns over
Sure.
because we are responsible for the
yes, the
Maintenance.
building, yes, thank you.
repairs of the
True.
building itself. So that's what this is coming out of.
Right,
Fine. And
The forms that you see there are.
Yeah.
These are forms that Katie has created for when we do draws on capital reserve funds. I
Okay.
find them pretty handy to keep
all right,
on
I hadn't
file.
seen it before. I was wondering where
Yeah.
it came from.
Yeah, if we can upload these right into BSNA too as an attachment to the invoice when we make payment, so I think she did a great job here. Unless you have some recommendations, I'd like to use them
Yeah,
going
sure.
forward.
Do we approve the release? I thought we can vote to release, but the did not have to be
Yep.
approved by,
Select board
Trustees.
approval to spend the money,
right?
and then it's a review with the trustees of the trust funds
Yeah.
of the expenditures. And we
Okay.
do that quarterly.
All right.
Okay.
So we do it, we are the approval authority, but they're the reviewing authority.
Correct.
Got it now. All right. I take it you're fine with the estimates, chief, you're okay with the work there?
Yeah. Yeah, it
Talking
was
about here.
Recommended, they couldn't maintain the back egress doorway.
Right,
Due to the snow and ice accumulating on there, so they couldn't properly open the door.
right. I remember you, I think,
So
right.
they just were putting a pitched roof on there. That was our recommendation, that
right.
if they couldn't maintain it, then that
Right.
was a
And
solution.
that gets them into that fenced area and they want to replace that fence.
Security reason.
I think it was, the old one was falling, it was a replacement.
Post
It was-
panels,
it
gate,
was a-
et cetera. Yeah, the
Yeah.
gate was, that was definitely,
Yeah, it was in disrepair.
Disrepair.
It was Pretty rotten, but, the little gable was our recommendation, and I think the fence was just a replacement.
okay. Any discussion by the board?
Nope.
No, I don't have any problems with that.
All right, so, let me go back to that form. So the motion would be to, okay, got it, yeah. The motion would be to, approve the release of capital, reserve funds for the replacement of one roof panel and extension of the porch and the replacement of a fencing, let me see, get it right, fencing, one roof panel, install extended roof over existing porch facing elementary school, and I'm sorry, I'm just looking for the one that dealt with the fence. There it is, remove and replace fence system, and to include fence material, post panels, gate, etc. Any amount not to exceed, what's the total on it?
I don't have a total.
I have
in
6360.
For the roof repairs,
The roof repairs was 6,360.
and the-
And for the fence repairs, $6,065.
Right,
Yep.
and I think those amounts should be reflected on here somewhere, and they're not.
oh, we can do that for sure, I can handwrite them in.
I mean,
And put a spot going.
we can do that
So
too,
it's,
but
what, about 13,000?
Yeah, whatever they add up
Roughly.
to, yeah.
Yeah.
So 6360 plus,
I will second that motion.
so it's 12, yeah. 12,125, I think.
Yeah, I'll second that motion.
Okay. All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Aye.
So you need us to sign this, you're gonna handwrite in
Yeah,
add them up correctly
let me do
and,
well,
that.
they're written separately too, which makes it. But there should almost be a line for that, right, on the
Yeah.
form?
oh, I guess different line for the roof as opposed to the fence?
Well, they just did one for each.
Okay,
As
I guess it's
opposed
because
to
it's two
in total.
separate estimates.
Estimates,
Maybe that's it,
He did the fence, he's already done the fence,
right?
but he hasn't started the roof,
I see.
All right,
or maybe.
all right, well, then we'll keep it separate, so right.
Okay.
But I think the motion worked for both,
Yes.
to do both. So, let me just, Steve, you putting that? So you can sign. Next. Okay, we got the delinquent accounts, have you been able to make any headway on redoing the town website? You were talking to, I think you were researching and talking to a company, well, the current company, which a lot of towns use, right?
Civic Plus,
Civic Plus.
yeah,
Yeah.
the last I spoke with them, they told me with winter.
Yeah,
Was when we were slated for their upgrade. They have not contacted me of late. I had reached out to a vendor that Work actually suggested. And
Mhm.
then I had a demo of a portion of their product, which was more of a action plan, work ticket kind of a system.
now a little different.
Yeah, it wasn't the true website, but he had reached out to me since we spoke to him and said he'd like to show us a demo of their website.
All right.
product as well, so moving, but I'm hoping for budget season to have a couple of options.
Okay,
What
great.
the increase for Civic Plus would be with their upgrades and another
Right.
option. I could-
Okay, great.
Steve asked me to look at other municipalities in New Hampshire to see what other, so I've been making a list of those
Mhm.
ones that use other websites besides Civic Plus. And then contact them to find out how they like their website and whether it's worthwhile to contact the other.
Okay,
companies.
great,
Good.
So.
great. No, that's great. Thank you.
Last week,
Yeah.
so.
Yep, earlier this year, we committed to, redoing the website. And
Yeah.
so we're moving along. Great, thank you. Thank you for that. All right, so let's turn now to issue of delinquent water sewer payments. And frankly, if it's delinquent water sewer, it's probably delinquent trash too, right?
That's accurate.
Okay.
Yeah.
But these numbers we're seeing here, do you know if that includes the trash
It's within the sewer.
within the sewer? Okay, so
See, there is total-
the total owed for all three municipal services.
Correct.
All right. So I believe we've had one person pay the delinquency since it was brought to his attention.
That's correct. The line I highlighted in green there
Yeah.
was the most, I believe the most that was in arrears for about $11,000. We received a
Correct.
check for that on Monday of this week. And that number is deducted from that total that you see at the bottom.
I see. So the total is 65,000, but we're really at 54,000 delinquency.
Right.
Did that include all the accounts? I thought it was more than 11,000.
For that one property owner?
Yeah,
There were
So-
two properties, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
you'll see,
Is it somewhere else listed?
it's listed as
LLC or something.
Snows Mountain Lodge.
Oh, I got it. Okay, so it's under a different, got it. That's the 2617. Okay, I get it now.
Where's the
Snows Mountain,
second one?
Snows Mountain.
Lodge?
Yep. That's actually a residential account, right?
Yes.
Right. Yeah, and that gets kind of, it gets kind of a little complicated because trash commercial, tipping fees, but
Okay.
trash residential is a flat $60 a quarter.
Right.
So,
Okay, so we have $54,000 in delinquency on our water, sewer and trash.
That's from 2013
Mhm.
through 2024.
Right.
Mhm.
I didn't look at 2025 because.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And it appears most of these are residential. There are a couple. Maybe one I see that
Well-
commercial.
It's kind of hard to
yeah,
see.
Snow Star and
Yeah.
5K.
Yeah. It's hard because the others could be investors, yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, and there are several that are quite high.
Yeah.
3,000, 1,700, 5,000, 2,600, 1,000,
Has there
1,200,
been any communication?
8,700, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Has there been any communication with, besides the one that is now removed, has there been any communication in regards to these payments that are outstanding?
when we do our quarterly water and sewer billing,
Yeah,
they'll see on their bill a big past due amount highlighted separately. But other than that, for utility payments, the tax collector did not follow a lien process that we have available to us, as we do with property taxes.
right. And what would the lien process look like?
It would work the same as a regular property tax, so we can lien a water sewer bill that is delinquent, just like we lien property tax.
Right, but we wouldn't get the money.
We
And
wouldn't get the
money until the property is,
Until the property is sold, but it also puts pressure on the owner, because if they have a mortgage, the bank is alerted.
Right,
It kind of gives a leverage for us to actually
Right.
get that money, which is what we're telling the tax collectors we're gonna get every year.
right,
And when certain people know that they're not gonna get liened, they just don't pay it, they pay their property tax, but they don't pay their water sewer. And those are services that are provided.
right.
You know, and I did, at the conference I was at last week, I did ask other towns, and they said, why don't you lien them? You should be
Yeah.
leaning them, because
Okay.
that's money that you're promising to get for the town,
Exactly.
you know, and services that are already provided.
That's
Yes,
correct.
yes,
So it's putting a tax burden for the next year.
Exactly.
On the next taxpayers for that year to
Right.
then have more that we don't have in the pot,
right,
yeah,
so.
And if I may just add this part. You don't pay your power, the electric bill, power gets shut off.
no, exactly.
well, that's the other option.
Well, that was
Yeah,
the thing
so-
that Mark used to say, was that, you know, with condos and things, you can't just shut off, like Dylan said, you can't just shut off the water. Cause you shut off everybody's water, but you can lien,
Right,
which is a different process, you know, it's the same as property tax lien, you can lien that property and it will go on. As a lien, so if they try to sell it, that is a negative, they owe something to the bank is alerted that they haven't paid it, and they will push pressure on them. Because that.
If they have a
usually one of the
mortgage, right.
Stipulations, when you sign a
Right,
mortgage.
if they have a
that-
mortgage.
yeah,
Yes, that you're gonna be up to date with your bills.
sure, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Jan.
May I ask a couple of questions? First, I noticed that several of them were like LLCs and property groups and things. They're not all, like one is something trustees. You know, it's probably coming out of a trust or something. And the question I had was whether or not we were sure we had accurate contact information for all of these individuals.
Yes,
You don't get mail returned.
if we do get mail
Yeah.
returned, the due diligence that I have to do is try to follow up and find them in another system or whatever I have access to as far as contact information. I Google it, I Facebook it, I look for it.
Okay,
And if I can find some way to contact them another way, I do. I have to do my due diligence to do that.
Yep.
And then we keep that copy that was returned to us. So if they ever come back and say they didn't get their tax bill, even though it's online, we send it, we email it. Then we have that as our backup, that we have provided that for them. They just didn't want to find it, or they
Okay.
just didn't want to pay it.
right,
So,
So when I look at this list, if I do a mental sorting, if you will. There's maybe somewhere between 16 and 20 that are over $1,000. Some of these are on the order of maybe they're a month or two behind, something like that. I'm not concerned about the people a month behind or 2 months behind.
Well, it'll be quarter
It's-
behind.
Yeah, or a quarter
It'll be
behind.
a
well,
quarter
it'd be
behind.
more than that,
Right.
this is through 24, not 25,
That's correct.
so
Right.
we're past the quarter,
Right,
Oh,
So-
okay, so this
this
is
is through
past.
24.
so
Okay,
it's several
so-
quarters behind
Yes.
is what it
Yeah, so
actually
there's
is.
several
Yes.
quarters.
Yeah.
Okay. But some of them are reasonably small amounts at this point. Others are quite large.
Mhm.
And by looking at the interest numbers. The second line on your list, you can see the
Mhm.
interest number there is quite high.
Mhm.
So that means that this has been outstanding for an exceptionally long time.
Mhm.
If. You know, one of them, I think the interest is what, $5.08, it means they're probably, you know.
They missed the last quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. I think we should. Send specific notices to these people. Requesting payment. because of non-payment issues. And I know we send out quarterly bills and they get something in there, but they're being basically just blowing this off. So at this
So far,
juncture, I
yeah.
think we need to take additional action.
Right. And
I,
enumerate the
I
lien.
think we begin by sending them a letter that outlines, we create, if you will, a standard letter, goes out to each of them. It has their amount, their address, their whatever, contact information. And it indicates what they owe us. And we tell them, we can take the lien, that's our next action, right?
Or potentially turn off the service
Right, or turn off the
if it's
service.
feasible.
So we need to make that clear to folks. They're not appreciating that, if you will.
Yeah. So,
And certainly, obviously, several individuals have abused the system at this point.
right. So we need a more strongly worded form that can be directed to the individuals who are outstanding.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
That's
let's
my
do that.
feeling.
Yep, let's do that.
those forms, I already have them in my software system, so they can be created for water and sewer. I have them for property taxes that I send delinquent bills out to. So it's already addressed to them, same information that's already in our tax system. So we can do those for water sewer, saying that they're delinquent. The only thing I can't do is I can't lien unless the select board decides to make that a rule, that they're going to basically say, they're gonna put a warrant saying that they are going to be able to lien properties now for water and sewer, because prior to that, I think there was a ruling, I haven't looked at when it was, but that the previous select board decided, I don't know what year it was, that they weren't gonna lien on water and sewer, so you just have to reverse that.
Would that have to be done through a warrant article?
I have to look what the law, the RSA is, but it has to be done by you, the select board, and I don't think it has to be a warrant article. I think it just has to be like a select board.
Vote.
Vote, and then signing something, so we have it on the books.
And something we need to have a public hearing for?
I can find that out for you,
Okay.
like what the actual process is, just to
Thank you.
reverse it and actually start applying it. But in the meantime, from
We've
this
still got
period
the-
on, we only have like, 3.5 more months of this year. We could just do the delinquent letters, and then for
Right,
the next year, have something set up where we'd actually start leaning and be able to tell people, we will be leaning your property on water and sewer.
that's a good idea.
And
Right.
get it all in place.
I think that works fine.
Yeah.
I would approve that
Yeah.
action.
Good.
That-
But I think we too need to look at the question of service,
Yes,
especially for some of these are obviously they missed a quarter or they missed 2 quarters for whatever reason. But a lot of these, when you're in for $8,900,
Yeah.
something is not right either. I don't know what is not right, but
And-
something is not right.
And what Steve said on our tax bills, where we have a new line that basically shows any outstanding balances.
Mhm.
That's only been new as of the first
Right.
tax bill of this year.
Right,
Prior
I
to
remember that.
It never was
With-
alerted, so now they actually see it, and we
okay,
try to highlight it. And people are kind of like, it's great, because a lot of people have
Right.
been calling in saying, oh, I didn't know that, what is that, or they send one amount and not the other amount.
Oh.
So they're just kind of getting used to it, but I
Okay.
think it has
Mm.
prompted them to actually be more studious in looking at what they owe. And I've been directing them also to the website, because the website shows the most up-to-date bill for them. So they can look at any time and see what's been applied, what hasn't been applied to their account.
Mhm.
okay, good.
So,
I
Do we
think
want-
that would be a good first action, would
Yeah.
be to send the letter out and to each of them.
I wonder though, if we want to have a threshold that if you're above that threshold, we're going to take action.
Mhm.
Turn off the service. I mean, if you're in for $8,800, you haven't paid for a long, long time.
Apparently forever, because their
Yeah,
interest is
so
almost as high
The
as how
question
much
is
they
it
owe.
feasible to turn off the water? If it's a single family home, I imagine it is, but then the good question becomes, what is state law with regard to that?
We would have to send them written notice.
We
according
have to
to this.
send them written notice.
Yeah,
That's on the page underneath.
so
Right,
I would think that whatever wording is in your software must include something like this. It wouldn't,
for those who are, I think we want to establish a threshold.
municipalities that I'm trying to find out what
Right.
they use in their towns that have the same type of setup we have.
Okay.
As a template to kind of look at.
Right.
Good.
Water districts too.
Yeah,
Water
Excuse me.
districts deal with this all the time,
I'm
shutting
sure.
off delinquent accounts.
Right,
And the thing that's unique in our fee structure for the water system, just to throw this out there. We actually have a separate fee for deactivating and activating for this purpose.
right.
That way, if we had to shut somebody off.
Right.
it gets added to the,
Yeah, we're not paying, we're not paying staff to go out of our way
to do
to
that.
shut someone off. They're actually paying that fee to cover the expense of the town every time.
Sure.
So,
And then when you turn it back on, they have to pay another fee, right?
exactly.
I mean,
This can be painful
Like-
for
Yeah.
folks, yeah.
Right. So yeah, firmly, like I said, worded letter with all those
right,
things listed out, I think is a good way to start.
right, but
And-
when do you wanna, go ahead?
Oh, well, I would think the letter should go out like as soon as feasible. And I'd like to know what, what the process is for us saying we would start a lien
Mhm.
before we decide what the threshold is.
Okay, or discontinuance of service.
Exactly, yes.
Lien or discontinuance of service. Trash is a little different, I imagine, but that's also a little bit more
Even
complex,
sewer, we can't shut off sewer unless it's a grinder pump or something like that.
right,
That's a harder one.
right, I'm sure there
Oh,
are a
yeah,
lot of,
please don't shut off the
regulations.
grinder
But I
pump.
mean, the thing is, if someone is $195, that means, to my mind, they probably missed the last quarter payment,
That's all that is.
right? But someone who is at 2036, they probably haven't paid for several years.
So do you want the delinquent letters to go out at a certain dollar amount, they're above 500 or? Or do you want to just say everybody across the board right now, that's delinquent?
Yeah, I mean, then we'll get stuck with having to put delinquent letters out every time somebody misses a quarter. Do you wanna, is that what we're looking at? Is that what we're getting at? To send out a delinquent letter? Right. Right, that's what I'm getting at, so,
Say maybe every half a year, like do it on the half point.
If they've missed 2
Because
quarters.
that would be over 500 probably for most.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Some
good.
more.
all right, no, I think that'd be the way
Once a
to,
year.
right,
Yeah, if they've
And then
missed
decide if
2
we're gonna
quarters, that means they're.
well, something is,
delinquent, and
they're
then-
delinquent, we don't really know why, but
Right.
Yeah.
that's 6 months of billing that they've not,
And
responded to.
sometimes it's just oh. I didn't get that done, oh. Cause I'll be honest with you, sometimes bills get buried.
yeah, well, it's that, it could be that they have,
misplaced or
as
whatever.
part of, if they have a mortgage, it's supposed to be paid, they pay it to the bank, but the bank isn't paying, or the bank thinks that it's not part of the mortgage and they're supposed to be paying, that whole escrow account issue, so
Right,
I wouldn't be surprised if there's some of that going on here as well.
So most of the people that have escrow accounts,
Mhm.
the bank sends me checks to the town. They actually get the data from me, so I send them the data of all the
Right.
property taxes
Sure.
that are.
So they know what they can pay,
And
right?
they send it and then they send the checks.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if for some reason there's a discrepancy in what they actually holding
I see.
to the amount that they need to have sent out, and if it's different, they usually call me or they contact the owner.
Yeah.
But it is a flag for them, so
Sure.
there's like a
All right.
cross-reference
Yeah.
there.
I think we have a way for, I'm sorry, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I was gonna say, there's only about a couple dozen people here who are over the $500 amount,
Mhm.
so,
Yeah.
yeah.
But again,
that
that's
should be-
2024.
Exactly,
Right.
true.
So we're into
Alright.
how many quarters now?
Yes.
We're into our last quarter, right? Well, third
Is
quarter.
that once you leave, like, we can place the lien on the year that we're in, but then we have to wait 2 years before we actually can usually apply pressure. I don't know what it is for water and sewer, that's what it is for property.
Okay.
So if we leaned in 2022, then in 2024 is when you can deed. Like you would
Gotcha.
take the property, and that's literally what you're trying to say, with leaning, that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
But we're really, with water and sewer, we're just trying to help them to pay us up.
Okay,
Because that's what they've asked us to do, is tax collect on their behalf,
right.
Right,
can I just stop for just a sec? We have folks who don't need to be here anymore, it's getting late. You may
That's-
need to go home.
Yeah, I think
I gotta
that's,
be in Laconia for 7, so.
Yeah.
Right, so
yeah, that's the
By all
general,
means.
that's the general
Yeah.
understanding.
I just wanna
I
make
think some-
sure you're not
I
sitting here
believe it.
waiting for us just to say, you can go.
I don't think they would wait for that.
No,
What?
They wouldn't wait for
No.
that.
Well, they might.
no.
No.
These people,
No.
no.
Respectful.
Well, it wouldn't be disrespect. It would be that we understand that they have other things to
We
do.
always do. All right, so no, I think Kristen, thank you very much. It was very helpful.
Yes, very much.
Obviously, you know your business, so I think what you, yeah. Well, good, 'cause it'll help us tremendously. So proceed along the path. I think you clear, I mean, is it clear what we're looking for? Alrighty. There's a subset of this I think I'd like to talk in non-public about, but I think we're good on this right now.
Okay.
Is everyone good, Dan?
Yes.
All right, now let me find my. Have we finished with our on calendar review? As we chug along here. So our next meeting is on the 8th. And the one after that's the 22nd of October. That's a change from our normal schedule, just the way the calendar work and how we arrange meetings, so.
And we're
starting at
moving those
2
to two
o'clock.
PM.
And the one on the 8th, we're looking at a 2 PM start, but we'll wait to hear from Chief that they're ready to come in
Oh,
and talk. If it's something,
I'm confident that we
Right.
can,
yeah,
we can come in. One thing that I think we may have skipped over me, that's not in my report is
Mhm.
finish the evaluations for the space needs assessment
Oh,
for town hall.
Oh,
public safety.
oh, great.
Yep.
Of course, it just finished it yesterday, so there was an opportunity to get it disseminated, so you guys can review it, so we can talk about that next meeting. Well,
That's fine.
I know there was a timeline set for the event for all the companies that.
mid-October, wasn't it something like that?
submitted.
15 or 13 October?
We had originally published that the board would review the applications and make a decision today, but with everything going
No.
on, I'll reach out to the vendors as they.
Okay, yeah.
Let them know that'll be pushed back a week or two.
Yeah, to our next meeting.
Um,
Was that work for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To our next meeting, so.
Overall,
couple
very
weeks.
happy. We received 5, so.
Great.
We have some good proposals to look over.
Good.
Great. All right, so we have a joint select board, school board meeting tomorrow at the multipurpose room at 3 PM. And the planning board is meeting on the 9th of October. Moving on to board concerns and directives, anything, Wendy or Dan, ex officio or other?
No.
I had one question. I know we've been doing line striping and so forth on the roads. I was curious why some roads aren't being done, for instance. Like the Cascade Ridge Road that goes up. Part of it was repaved last year. There's still no lines on there. And so forth. And the roads and the lines, the rest of the lines on that road are pretty much non-existent almost at this point. So-
Probably no reason for that.
I
It's come to our
thought we were
attention.
going to, I also noticed they just stopped at one point on Boulder Path Road and. So the end of Boulder Path Road. Doesn't have lines either, And I was-
Because there's a.
all the way down towards, past the, BBTS parking lot down there.
So. As far as I'm aware for Boulder Path, there's a section that's not been done before. I was
Well,
going off.
past
based off
Cascade
of what
Ridge.
was Been
Right.
done before.
Right, past Cascade Ridge, you mean? Right,
Yeah.
that's never been.
Well, actually, it's before Cascade Ridge is where it stops.
Yeah, no, that's
But
what I
the
mean.
Cascade Ridge Road did have lines on it at one point and.
I think we
they're
just
not- they
never
haven't
picked up
been
on it.
redone and
I,
such.
yeah.
I've almost been. Mashed by vehicles come ripping around the corners on that road several times, big trucks. From people working up there, contractors and such. And having lines on the roads, I think, kind of helps people stay in their lanes a little
Well,
bit.
every year we look at that. I don't know why, for some, whatever reason was, we didn't do certain portions.
Yeah, I
from
was just-
Cascade Ridge, we usually include those, that discussion in our discussion of road work.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and I-
the budgeting for that and the lines, so the lines that got done this fall were because of the road work done on those two roads, and prior to that, I had indicated to Mark that Osceola Road needed it, and so he added that to it. So,
right, and I had mentioned this one
all right,
long before
all right,
too.
well, we'll
how-
have to pick up on it
This
next
is
year then.
Historically, some of those roads were too narrow if you did a standard line package.
To either side, yeah, you
To
get
either
the,
side, you don't
21
have
or
the
22
standard- you lose the
22 feet.
standard Width, so some of them were were just the
Single yellow
Yeah,
line.
single line up the middle, even the
Yellow
single
line.
line up the middle would
Because
help,
of the.
yeah.
The
And I-
width of the road.
Those parts of those roads.
We're into
too
20,
narrow.
didn't
Yeah.
come out to the
Yeah,
22, I
and
think we're at
certainly
11 feet.
Cascade Ridge is that way because of the erosion we've had there and where the road.
So I think what we can do it, since it's at this point in the season, I mean, I think we just look more closely at the road striping for next year as part of our discussion on the roads, and any
Yeah.
roads that you've noticed, or Wendy, that you noticed that need to get done. Some just wear better than others for whatever reason. And then whether it's a double or a signal, we'll just have to pick up on it
Yeah,
at that time, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else, Dan?
no, I don't have anything. else.
Okay,
Thank you.
Wendy, you said you didn't have anything?
I'm good.
A couple quite very quick things. We had talked, I think, at the last meeting, Steve, about getting together and reviewing the town manager work plan. We should probably do that. And I guess our next meeting may be getting filled up, but or maybe we need just a special meeting to go over. I think we're gonna look at it and see what the status of play was on the various
Yeah.
things, and I know everyone's been, you guys have been busy, full out, and it's just something we need to, again, it's on my tickler list, we should probably look at that and see. I think it'll be very helpful to you to see what the expectation was for the town manager for 2025 and what's left,
Right.
since you've taken over as interim manager, and then we can go over the priorities with you, so if you want to look at it, and maybe at our next meeting, we can discuss it.
Yep.
Sure.
Just make sure if things in there you want to change, or add. And that was a living list, right? Mark would add things all the time to it, not only the status, but would add things as things came up.
Yeah, I have access to it.
Good, all right. Chief, I just had one question, actually, it's several questions, but having to do with one issue. Everything good to go on Saturday? Do you want to give us a little update?
Yeah, we're good, Kent's fine. Spoke with the junior home yesterday, been in touch with, I haven't spoken to Nancy in a few days, but as far as everything on our end, we're all set.
Looks like a
you
good
guys
day,
are good
too.
up at the cemetery, I know they were working.
Yep.
They were doing a nice job up there.
Yeah, I saw that in your report.
Yeah, they
Good job,
will be,
guys.
Digging, putting the vault in tomorrow,
Yeah.
so.
Okay,
We anticipate there probably will be some on-road parking for Packard's Road.
okay,
Tina's allowed us, she's gonna block off that half of the building and parking lot for us on Friday. So we can try to maximize the amount of parking on Golden Eagle. But because of weddings, reunions.
yeah, it's a very busy weekend.
Very busy weekend.
They've got the car
We're gonna try to
rally,
Move them down.
Chili Fest, I
just
think.
need to get the key.
So,
We'd like to use the laydown area as overflow.
Oh, our laydown area
Our
up at
laydown
Tecumseh?
area, We'd like to just open the gate and just park cars there.
That's a great idea.
We've made arrangements with. Brooks
Use
to have
the
rec bus,
The rec bus,
if we need to just shuttle folks.
good idea.
Down there just for the ceremony. We'll make sure it gets closed up and, should only be for a couple hours.
Yeah.
Other than that, the reception's all set, Coyote, Sean's good, for there. And anything else, we'll have our full staff here. I have 2 officers. We spoke with the resort, the car show gets done exactly at 3 o'clock,
mhm.
right when the service. We're diverting them, to Snowsbrook out to
Good.
Tecumseh, so they're not driving by.
By the Packard Field
Uh,
with their muscle
yeah.
cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
by Packers Field at that time. Other than that, we plan on having a presence. We do have Campton Thornton and Thornton PD covering us
Mm-hmm.
during the wake and during the actual,
Service.
we will have we'll have a full complement of staff here for anything major, but just in case we will have so if something in the middle of the service, we're not having to have people leave. so.
Bail, yeah,
Um,
great.
Dave, you mentioned you were gonna block off some spaces for handicap.
Yeah, we're gonna use some signage. We're gonna put some handicap parking next to the playground. Which will be the closest access. We're gonna leave an aisle open so the funeral home can have access to the field much easier. I'm not gonna rely on that back because of the wedding that's gonna happen at 4 o'clock there.
Oh, right, so you,
Yeah,
you know,
so
yeah,
we're gonna
yeah,
try
hearse
to-
driving by then is
So we're
probably,
just gonna try to focus on the top.
yeah,
Are you gonna need cones and things like that?
I might need some cones, yeah.
I was gonna actually add, we're gonna have to cone off
The
that
lagoon
side, so
area?
many people don't drive down to the lagoon area.
Yeah, we're gonna put some tape out.
Perfect.
We'll tape it, so they just, I don't even want them coming down as far as the drive.
no, they can just hang a
Yeah,
left
some
and one
barrels,
big area,
too.
yeah,
Yeah, we can just put some barrels, I'm just gonna keep them to
great,
just the lay down area, that's
Great.
all. I think that'd be plenty of cars, so.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
I was just thinking in addition to handicap, if you wanted to prioritize some spaces for the family.
Yeah, we're gonna do that along the side there with the funeral home, like the procession that will be going to the cemetery, we'll give them priority.
and you guys gonna be walking the casket in at the beginning of the service?
No, the funeral home, I have to discuss it with Nancy,
Mhm.
speaking to the funeral home, they highly suggested that we don't do that, that
Hmm.
things are already set when it starts. But we will be assisting with moving Mark once.
The service is over to
Yeah,
go to the cemetery,
so,
Now, will he be having a military service?
The funeral home has reached out.
Yep.
To get that, yes.
okay,
yeah,
Okay,
funeral
Just have
home's
to
in
see.
charge of, yeah, has been in charge of that portion, so I
Okay.
don't know the date.
I would think so.
okay. Anything else, think of, anything else the town
No,
could be?
Alicia and the other
doing-
staff been putting together the photo boards and stuff.
Mhm.
we Spoke about.
Right.
For family, they're gonna have an opportunity to come either Friday or Saturday morning. For any
A
of their
walkthrough.
touches that they want. To put there,
Mhm.
there is some flower arrangements, we do have some tables that'll be in the back with.
Right.
Tablecloths that we can use. for-
That was actually one of my questions about flowers and whether the town had already
We
Made
didn't
arrangements for-
arrange any flowers, but I'm sure that we certainly could.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think,
I
know
think it
there's,
would be
I know,
appropriate,
according to the funeral home, there was like 3 or 4 major arrangements.
Right.
That.
that they've already discussed
that
with,
they've already discussed with Nancy.
Nancy.
so.
yeah.
Yeah, no, we definitely should.
Yeah, no, I think it would be nice. I think at one time we had talked about this, but we were unsure, you weren't sure whether Nancy wanted flowers or a contribution to,
Yeah, she was encouraging everyone
Right, yeah.
in lieu of flowers, ever since through the funeral home,
right,
was to bring a picture and or a memory.
Oh, okay.
or
I see.
written to be posted on these easels, and we have the foam boards. We've started, Alicia started working on adding some pictures that we've had of Mark, but there'll be some empty space. She's also gonna have some cards there that people can sign and write a memory if they wanted to post it up on there
okay.
too, so.
I mean, unless she doesn't want it, I think it'd still be a good idea if we would have some kind of flower arrangement
It
from
would,
the
Mhm.
town,
We'll
Somewhere
call
in-
in the morning.
yeah, somewhere in the
Yeah.
process.
Yeah, and I think we did, I just have to confirm whether
Mhm.
they're done or not.
We did print out, per your request, 3 copies of the proclamation.
Right,
That stamped and.
right,
framed.
to give to the family, great, great, and You're still the master of ceremonies, or is that?
We did the program, Nancy asked us what helps with preparing the program, so Alicia and the other staff has
Mhm.
been doing that. It is set there, I'm just, I'm kind of the introducer. and
Okay, just you're the one keeping things moving along.
Keeping things moving along, introducing the other speakers and,
Okay,
the things that are happening there.
is
So
Chris ready?
I think so,
Good. Wish him good luck.
yeah.
Okay, any other questions for our chief? And then people will just walk over to the Coyote.
Yeah.
Or
we'll
from the
announce it during
cemetery.
Ceremony
Right.
and,
Right.
the great side will be just for family and invited friends, so.
Right. Okay. Any other questions for anybody on that? Great.
No.
Well, thank you, chief, for
Mhm.
all that great work. All right. I only have one very quick thing, just on the planning board. They've met with SE Group at their last meetings and began looking at any zoning amendments that'll need to be made. There are a number that will have to be done due to change in state law. But also, SE Group came in with some recommendations to help tighten up our zoning in a number of areas. And I guess that discussion will continue at the next meeting on October 9th, I believe the next meeting is. Also, one member of the board, Rick Smith, has resigned. He and Jen are moving out of the town, and you have to be a member, a resident of the town.
Yeah.
To be in the planning board, so the planning board has asked alternates if anyone then want to fleet up and become a member. So we'll see who puts the name in, and then we'll have to choose someone to replace Rick
Sure.
on the planning board. And that's that. Shall we move to correspondence?
Good, Lakes Region meeting.
And
Thank you so much.
enjoy your next meeting.
Thank you.
So I see we've got actually, I think we have two here. I had one I was going to add, a correspondence from Mike Fergal, and you had another?
Correct.
All right, so why don't we go through them as quickly as we can? Sure, anytime.
Some of the trees and branches that are in that.
Oh, in the Glen, do we call it Osceola Glen? Where's the sign call it, I think?
Yeah,
Is it Osceola Glen?
something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, that was one of the letters that we received from Mike Fergal about how that area in there needed some work, some stuff that would be cut back, and he volunteered to bring some people over, but you guys, right, right, yeah, I told him we needed to check with the Forest Service, so thank you for doing that. And thank you in advance for following through and cleaning it up. All
Do you
right,
want to continue with the two other pieces of
Yep, yep.
correspondence that touch Megan's department?
yeah, of course,
Mr. Burko with his stone wall.
Right.
concerns.
We
Yes.
Heard about that, right?
yes,
So, I can show you the picture on my phone, I didn't take a picture of the after, but the before picture of his wall is in worse condition than when Piper put it back together. So Piper put it back together as best as they could. But the stone wall is a naturally laid, there's no mortar or anything holding it together, it's just rock and crevice holding each other in. They fixed it. The concern he's having, which you can't see in the picture, is the grass is slightly separated from the stone wall. But the stone wall, before Piper did any work, before they started anything, was already deteriorated. Would you like me to show you the picture?
no, I don't need the specifics myself, I just need to check with Alan to find out what exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, we could certainly ask you to show him the picture and say what exactly, this is the before and this is after,
yeah.
what exactly is the damage.
I mean, I could see the character being different because of course the rocks would have the moss in the exterior and that would have been disrupted, so it would take a while to regain that character. I don't know if that's perhaps the issue.
So Mark
It's-
and I met with him.
Right, and he did mention that, he did mention,
Mark said he was gonna reach out to Piper. I had directed Alan to Piper themselves
So,
to work it out. But from the picture and with the wall it is now, it is in my belief that Piper fixed it to better than it was than when they arrived.
Okay, no, that's an important job.
Alan's comments to us
Right.
were that it was agreed and then agreed with the town that the fix by Piper was inadequate and that the town would then fix the wall. I don't know what that means,
So.
but that was, I believe, Alan's discussion with.
Well, we talked
Mark,
about damage to the rock walls.
Right,
So that was what we were thinking of, damage, and that, of course, Piper and the town will be responsible for making it whole again.
Right.
But we're, right.
It was left off with the conversation that was had with Alan was we were gonna talk to RM Piper. Which we did, we got pictures. That's where we're at.
So he said in his letter, Piper orally committed to repairing the walls and even tried to address the problem themselves. The repairs they did are completely inadequate, and Piper agreed that I think it means they, are inadequate. Piper said that they had to do the repair work themselves before they would hire an outside crew to do the repairs.
So if he's been in conversation with, I can reach back out to Piper and see what the last conversations between them were. But the last conversation, town's part was we were gonna touch base with Piper.
And I guess if Piper has admitted or said to Alan that they agreed with him that it was inadequate, then they should be reaching out to other contractors, right? At least from what the
Yeah.
letter states.
My concern there
Yeah.
is that we've had a very good relationship with Piper, and it's very difficult for us to get a firm like that in here to do road work, and no disrespect meant to Alan, but this is a small issue that I wouldn't want to have infect
Oh, sure.
going forward with Piper. So if it's something that we can do, I would prefer to go down that path if there's something for us to do.
All to what I would believe he would expect to be a adequate fix. We would have to tear out a good portion of the wall, completely rebuild it, mortar it, so it stays like it's fixed a small section. Because all of the rocks are intertwined with one another. We'd be taking from way far back to past.
All right, I guess we need to find out what exactly is
Yeah,
the problem.
Right, and if-
I don't understand
Right,
what
yeah.
Alan thinks the problem truly is.
it just
Because he
damages what
didn't
he
really
said.
say it was, he said it was damage to the wall. That it needed to be repaired, that everybody agreed. Needed to be repaired and that paper repairs were inadequate. And that was a discussion
Yeah.
he said that he had with Mark. Now,
Okay.
you may not have been privy to
That's-
that discussion,
Fair.
so I'm trying to be fair with everybody here. So we as the board, we haven't seen that wall. We don't have any idea right now what the current status is, the original status. What repairs would be needed.
I think we just asked
Yeah.
Alan, what exactly is,
Yeah, could you have that conversation with him?
yeah, what exactly he says is still the problem? Because what I hear you saying is that it's better than it was.
Yes.
Have you
And he's-
spoken to Alan yourself? About this recently?
Not as of recent, no.
Okay,
All right, so
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
why don't you reach out to him
Well,
and find
yeah.
out what the issue,
Yep.
what
that's
it,
why.
what it was, yeah. Well, I think he thought he was getting the runaround from Piper, basically.
It sounded that way,
Not that DPW, Megan wasn't,
yeah.
Oh,
Tennis
no,
ball.
I'm not saying we weren't.
right, he just wanted us to intervene with Piper, I think, to get it fixed,
Right.
right, so. Right.
Thank
Just,
you.
I think the easy way here is just to talk to Alan and find out precisely
Yeah.
what has been damaged. And you can tell them that, you know, in your opinion, if you have a pitch, show them it's better than it was. So what is it you want us to do? Not so much Piper would be doing, but what is it you want done? I
Or,
mean,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, exactly.
And then if you could just let us all know what the situation is,
Yeah.
because we're
right.
trying.
Well,
to
he can either
sort
tell
of
you and you
understand
can
it,
think
and
about
it's-
and think about and tell us what your estimation of the situation is.
Right.
Of course, you can come to the board at any time and talk to us.
Yep.
Okay,
So the other piece of correspondence here is from Mr. Jim Singer
Mhm.
yes, from Green
from Green Peak.
Yeah.
Peak, which Green Peak? It's the one building, the original building, right, only.
Original.
I guess they're their own association. Yeah.
So him and Tina Capel have both expressed some frustration around some shrubs that they have planted
Yes,
that the road salt have died. I believe there's 12 in total that they've asked.
sounds about right.
The town to remove. The request is to remove the shrubs only, not to replant anything. I spoke to Tina briefly at the post office about a week ago. This was when all this correspondence was coming about, and she said she already has plans to backfill the holes that are left from when the shrubs are removed. And has plans to re-landscape them next year.
Okay.
In the initial conversation with Megan, we were kind of thinking they wanted us to not only remove the dead shrubs, but also to replant something. And at that point, we weren't comfortable doing that because
Sure.
we don't want to have this be a perpetual issue.
Okay.
But in talking to Megan about removing the shrubs, she's fully supportive of doing that for the condo association. Just a little bit of a concern with what's underneath the ground over there in terms of irrigation
Yeah, they have a lot.
lines.
Well,
So originally,
just take it
when
down
we
to,
built Susan with the multi-use pad,
yeah,
we took
remove
right
the
of way.
sidewalk.
Yes.
There was a sidewalk there.
The irrigation line was right in there, it was damaged, we had to replace it. And I believed we replaced some of the plants that were there as well. Remulched it and everything like that. And like Steve was saying, my concern with just the conversations that were had with Mark and I and Tina, where we were gonna remove everything, put all these new plants back. But like Steve was saying, I don't want a perpetual thing to continue, like I don't want. It's gonna continue to happen, we are plowing through there, there's always gonna be salt, there's always gonna be snow that's thrown.
Is it in the right of way?
It is in the right.
I think it's pretty clear. I mean, I think the agreement with them is, and Mark did talk to me about this a little while ago, that we would fix it this year. And he was gonna work it out with Tina and company. And so removing the dead bushes, and I think we did do some of the thing.
Just worried about the irrigation lines that may be tangled
In
in
the roots.
All right, well, how about if you don't go down to the roots? How about you just take,
Well, if Tina's looking to refill it with other plants, then she's probably expecting an empty.
I don't know how we could do that.
Well, we
Can you
can't
tell,
guarantee it at the moment, right?
can you tell when you
Like the lines
start,
are-
can you tell when you start to pull the shrub out, if there's like enough resistance to know if there's a line there to stop?
No,
There's
those
no way
lines
of
are
knowing.
so thin and brittle that
Okay.
they'll just.
Maybe we just cut it at ground level. I mean, they may not be able to, they probably don't want to be digging in there anyway.
Mm.
If we're taking something out and gonna damage irrigation, then them digging there to put something in, say we didn't have it there, would damage irrigation,
Yeah.
right? If there wasn't something already there.
And
And
they
they're
didn't,
just plastic irrigation lines, right?
Yeah, they're just plastic.
and they did,
Yes, we
they
don't
did-
have any way to detect them.
and they didn't have a plan for how they were laid down.
Not that I'm aware. They go along the edge, is,
Okay,
Well,
when
this,
we damaged the other one, when I remembered when they were fixing them, it went along the edge, the border of the flower
that's
garden,
Right.
and the bushes are on the edge of the flower garden.
right,
okay.
Inner edge. So-
right, because they plant they have some
Right.
perennials that come up.
So-
No, I think, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna, I think say the same thing, we just gotta cut them then, right?
Yeah, I think,
Explain why.
if the other thing we can do is that we can say, well, we can pull the whole thing out, but if we damage the line, that's not gonna be on us. Right? What do you want us to do? We think the safest course of action is us just to cut it down at the ground level.
Right.
And if you're fine with that, then I don't see, I think it's the completion of the promise that we made through Mark to bring that back as much we can. So we can give them the option if they wanna just, yeah, obviously won't be using any heavy equipment anyway, right? Probably a couple people with some shovels. There are 12 of them. I think that's right. I went and looked at it. So maybe you can just cut it at the ground level. Now, the other part of this is I think since it was written to us in correspondence, I think we need to go back and with correspondence that says from this point on, anything in the right of way and cite them, I think, as you pointed out to us, the regulation that says the town is not responsible for any
Right.
damage to any landscaping structures and structures, walls, I mean fences that are located in the town right of way.
Yeah.
Which is, I think we have to do that.
Yes.
I believe we have one other option here. I think.
Yeah.
Tina reached out to Will Lambert and got a quote of $650 to do the work.
Nah. How long will a couple guys,
The problem there is what if Will Lambert's people go
Yeah.
off and break?
well, they're our
the-
agents, so we'll get
the
responsible.
lines and
Right.
et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Well-
I'm not in favor of that.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's a good idea either.
Right.
Either we will just cut them down to ground level is our recommendation. But if they want something more, it's on them if any further damage to the irrigation system.
Yeah.
Our recommendation is don't do that. You may not want to plant anything here anyway. And going forward, anything in the right of way from this point on is not the responsibility of the town.
Yeah.
I don't know how far back the right of way goes. Certainly where all those annuals are and some perennials, but with regard to the bushes,
I looked on GIS and I don't remember off the top of my head right now.
well, the key is right of way. I mean, I think it's pretty
Yeah.
plain, right? Whatever it is. It's probably 10, 12 feet off the pavement or the gravel. The 2 foot was about 2 feet gravel. I don't know if that's there on that side.
It's not.
It's not
a-
there,
it's a
right?
curve.
So it's just a curb. So it's probably 10, 12 feet off the center, not the center line, the edge of the pavement, right?
Believe so.
Something like that. If the pavement's 11, I think our right of way is there. Is it 25 feet? Is 25 feet. So if the center line to the edge of pavement is our standard 11. Right? Anyway, the exact number doesn't. Right, right, 19. So then you go beyond that. About 6 feet in or something like that. Okay. Yeah, I think we just outline that in written correspondence back to them. I mean, you can check with them, via phone, just say, hey, look, this is what we're gonna do. We don't wanna rip up the roots in the ball because we might damage irrigation. We'll just cut them.
Yeah. I guess you're right.
And if they're fine with that, fine, but we need to follow up with a letter that says from this point on.
Yeah.
Anything in the right of way is not the town's responsibility.
Yeah.
Of course, that begs the question, what if we damage something beyond the right of way? And I don't know what to say, what the law says in that regard.
We look and.
Are we salting the multi-use paths?
Oh, well, they're getting plowed and salted or
There's
sanded
no-
depending
there's
on
no-
the,
Putting pretty heavy salt and
We
sand
don't
down.
drive in the multi-use.
Right.
To salt.
But the
we just
spreader-
salt the main road. and
Right.
it's-
It's-
spreads,
Okay,
that
yep,
little
yep, okay.
spreads.
All right.
Salt or sand or whatever.
Yeah.
So, now, the whole purpose of the multi-use, one of the purposes of going to the multi-use path was to be able to clear
Right, to clear it.
as well.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, with that all, I thought you said there was one more. Did we get them all? Correspondence? Yeah, okay. There's always one more.
We have a letter from, an email from Terry Stutzman that came in this morning. She has concerns about how we are moving forward with the process of hiring a new town manager. And she comes to us with sharing her experiences in HR, 20+ years of experience in talent acquisition, talent attraction, as a manager training, workforce planning, etc., and is offering some support in our efforts through this process if we so choose. Yeah.
All right,
That one.
well, why don't you make it, put it in the record, I see it's addressed to all three of us, I think, my initial response is, to, refer her to this search committee and see if they want to interact.
Well, I mean, we've appointed the search committee.
Yeah, I think she had some concerns in there.
What are her concerns?
Well, EEOC concerns, we have to be careful, I think is the best way of putting it. And it wasn't clear to her, Steve showed this to me just before the meeting. It wasn't clear to her that from our discussion that we were fully conversant and all the highways and byways of EEOC, and that she's offering her experience and as a HR, her HR experience to help us if we want it. That's why it seems to me that
Yeah,
it seems to be something that the search committee can.
well, or all, some of the comments I think are directed so that we are not misstating.
Okay,
That our language is aware, when we speak as a board, that we are cognizant of any potential. Thank you, yeah, that we
Yeah.
might be going against, so
right.
we just need to be careful.
Why don't you send this to all three of us via email? But I still think it should go to the search committee to
The letter, yes,
the letter so that
Yes.
they
Oh, yes.
could,
Yeah,
here's an expert in the area and
Yes.
something that they should
yes,
consider as they're going forward.
no, yes, that.
Whether or not they want to engage with her, again, I don't want to get into the business
Right,
of the search committee to that depth. Let them do their thing. Does that work?
Sure.
All right, anything else? So I think I have, yeah, you're gonna say something, Steve?
I thought you might have one more.
Uh,
Open with.
No, I didn't have, I got all my things checked. Yeah. All right, so I did have one thing in non-public. Wanted to talk about, so if we can go to if someone give me a vote non-public for personnel and reputational matter.
so moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Let us know when you're off. Oh, we're off.
We
Take this
have to ask
opportunity.
you guys to leave. So
Well, I
sorry.
think I'd like to keep Dylan.
Okay,
Let me shut this.
Yeah, or I can get it when I come back.
sorry, I teased you, I teased you, sorry.
Gotta press the speed.
What'd you say?
Yeah, there you go now. Shut this down. Stop right, just close the window. Then you're gonna go back to Zoom, end the meeting in Zoom. And go to the more button. Yeah. And stop the live stream.